Dun, 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 dun. It's a me, Luigi. I promise on that. I wore the loudest shirt I could possibly find on camera because we have some loud games to talk about today. Welcome to the Cardboard East Essen Extravaganza live stream. I think I said that right. This is part 2 of an ongoing 5-part series. Check out the description below and you should find links to the rest of the series. And I'm going to change the descriptions of all the videos so that way, no matter what video you're watching, you can jump to whichever ones you want to go to. I do want to also take this time to say thank you to everyone who has joined the Cardboard East called Collection Auction on BGG. I am moving from Taiwan, where I've been living for like the last 2 decades of my life, and moving back to the States. And so I have to let go of pretty much 60-70% of my collection. All the games you see here are leaving the collection, or 99% of the games here are leaving the collection, and those here are staying. I also want to say that if you join the collection, if you join my collection, if you join the auction, I will be, and you spend more than $50 to help me move, I will include a free gift from Taiwan. Some of those gifts include this. Last weekend, I spent the whole weekend at here, which is the Taiwan Original Board Game Expo. Think of it as the Essen or the Gen Con of Taiwan. So this happens every end of September, right before Essen. And I think over 70 publishers this year, just in Taiwan, came to the expo, but not just Taiwanese publishers. You also had publishers from Japan, like Sashi and Sashi and Itten were there. You have publishers from Singapore. You have publishers from Thailand. So it's growing and growing. And this year was the first time they used 2 halls and not 1. So it's expanding a lot. Every year they give out a free game. They gave out this game, and I will give this game for free. I think Smooks Chun, who runs Taiwan Board Game Design, gave me lots of copies here, so I'll be giving out some for you. This is a board game themed version of Vegetable Stock. So if you haven't heard about this game, can everyone hear me? Are you guys and dolls here? Can everyone hear me A-okay? This is a very simple drafting game. You take these cards here that look just like this. No, not like that. Maybe like this. Right? Usually have 2 of one vegetable, 1 of the other. Maybe you're playing a 3-player game, so you put 4 cards out. Number of players plus 1. And then everyone just takes a card. And the card that's left over affects the market. So usually it'll be something like this. So that means the tomato market will go up 2 in value, and the eggplant will go up 1 in value. So then you'll move this little market tracker here. So you can see here, it'll go like up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then if it goes up past 5, it'll go crash down to 0 and then slowly work its way up. It's double-sided, so you can have a 0, 1, 2, 3, 5. And that's the game. And you do that like 5 rounds, and then whatever card's in your hand, that's the stock that you have, and you look and see what your score is. And it's very, 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 very light, very, very simple. And this is just a board game themed version of it. And the market cards are a little bit different. Everyone can hear me? Everyone good to go? Okay. Testing, 1, 2, 3. All right. So I'll be giving out this for people who joined the Cardboard East called Collection Auction. And I will be giving away this one at the same time that there was the Taiwan Original Board Game Expo this weekend. There's also the Defense Expo, which was just a whole bunch of military equipment, and you just go around and looking at stuff. Tammy L says, coming in clear. Thank you, Tammy. You rock. I'm also going to be giving away these. You can see this. This is a Taiwanese black bear. He's holding the Taiwanese flag. This is the black bear. You can notice because he has the white V on his chest of fur. That's a Taiwanese black bear. It's a scramble, fight for freedom, and he's punching Winnie the Pooh, who has a few stars on his belly. It's supposed to represent a certain country. And this is not just a silly little patch, because remember, we got this at a Defense Expo. This is a patch that Taiwan jet fighter pilots wear on their jacket. Like they sew it here on their fighter jacket. Like it's an actual thing that, that exists. So I'll be giving these away too for people who just want something fun and cheeky and Taiwanese. But we're here for games, and we're going to talk about some crazy, crazy games today. So I'm going to have some coffee, and we're going to get started. I didn't have time to do a visual check, but wow, it looks nice. It looks coming through. Okay. All our games today are coming from one booth in particular. Let me double check what booth that is here really quick. Essen folder. Open up my Google Drive. And yeah, this is Hall 2D102. 2 A, B, C, D? D102. 2D102. And at this booth will be 4 Taiwanese publishers. You'll have Mo Ideas Game Design, you have Board Game Nation, you'll have Play With Us Design, and Wonderful World Board Games. And all 4 of these publishers have come together to have their own booth, and their games are pretty wild with the themes. And we're going to go through and talk about them each today. But right before we begin, does anyone have any questions about these publishers or have a particular game from these publishers that they know of that they want to know more of? Anyone? Go ahead and comment below and just let me know. But I will begin, I think, with last year's big surprise. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Ooh, it's going to be a workout day. Maybe that's why my back is feeling a little iffy today. Okay, move that out of the way, move that out of the way. We're good to go. So last year at Essen, Board Game Nations was there, and they brought this game, 12 Rivers, and it sold out in the first hour. Like all their copies just sold out immediately. So here is the original version, and they're gonna bring this again to Essen and sell even more copies of it. Why did this game sell out in like the first hour? Well, let me take it out and show you. One thing I do have to mention about Board Game Nations is that their boxes are all different sizes. This box does not fit in a Calyx, in a standard IKEA. You can turn it sideways, but who in their mind stores it like that? I know you have your Hori or Verdi, and you have your own belief system, but no one stores their games diagonally. At least I don't think so. So let's just crack this puppy open. Yeah, their games are just wildly, and they do this very obnoxious rule book, but it's only 4 pages, right? It's just that. That's it. That's the rule book. This nice big thing, pretty clear. And the reason why this sold out is because of all of this. This game has table presence, and I think in 2023, all your board games from every publisher has to have table presence. They even have like this little protective film here. Come out, I command you, to help protect the board when it first comes into the box, which is really, really nice. Because you want this board protected, because look at this. Look how crazy that is. So you're gonna fold this here. You have these extra pinchers here that are gonna slide in the back to kind of hold it up. Do it. I command you to obey. And then the game is gonna look like this. That's the game. This is the game board. Like, this is how nuts it is. This is expensive. Like, it's not cheap to make. And then now you're going to take these little, let's see if I could scoot this back even further. There we go. Yay, it worked. Sort of, kind of. Let's move this cup away because electrical equipment is bad. So at the beginning of every round, you're going to take this little thing here, put this here. And that's kind of fun, right? Let's see if I could. Oh, no. I got to pinch you too. There we go. Okay. Much better. And you're going to take these marbles here, and you just drop them behind this thing here, and you put them one behind each one. I think I talked with Alan, the publisher, and I suggested that for the second edition, maybe they spend out extra cash, or maybe they do like an extra promo. They make this in like an acrylic transparent one instead of white cardboard. And then you're gonna get like these little player tokens. These player tokens are nice and wooden. These nice wooden painted tokens. I can't really express, like, they did a really good job with the quality. They look really, really nice. You could see that kind of texture on them. So that nice tactile feel. And you'll be taking turns placing them here. Now, you could place it up high, like up here. You could place them down lower on the board, so maybe like down here, maybe closer to the mouth of the rivers, down there, just anywhere you want. And naturally, the higher you go, the more expensive it costs. And then you're going to lift this up, and then all the marbles are going to fall out. And if a marble is trapped here behind yours, then you choose one, and then you lift it up, and then the marbles keep falling down, and that's it. And once you take, that's like 80% of the game. And you'll take your marble and you put it on your nice little llama right here, and they have these little holes here for you to put the balls in. And once you do that, it's chaos. And you can also go to the village, and you'll pick up these little villagers here for set collection purposes and scoring. And you do this again, X number of rounds, and then whoever has the most points wins. Pretty light. They are working on an expansion right now to make this a little bit beefier and more strategic. And then they'll release the expansion, which is just like milestones, like first person to get X amount of resources, or XYZ of certain XYZ resources. And this is the game. It is just gorgeous. One of the most interesting choices that they made about this game is that there are no real icons on this board. They wanted to keep it clean and looking nice. Like, they could have, I'm gonna make some nauseous here. Like, they could have done extra work here with the icons here, but they decided to keep this as simple as possible to just make it look really, really nice and clean. And it's just, when you play this and you put this out on the table, everyone at game night is just looking at you going, what is this game? So if you played this game before and you like it, you're lucky, because there aren't many copies of this out there in the world. If you play this game and you want something a little bit heavier, well, hey, next year they'll be releasing an expansion, which is to make it a little beefier. And I have played the prototype of the expansion, and it's very, very promising. I did like it a little bit more, or at least there was more replayability and there were more things to do. And it made you play the game a different way, which I really appreciated, without going away from the spirit of the game. All right, and then now I'm gonna take, they're just little tricksy marbles. When you have marbles, that's what happens. And it comes in a nice bag. I think that's really nice. All the cards are good quality with this game. This is amazing. I forget the actual theme about this and what the balls are actually to represent, but I don't think it matters, because you're just so into the gamification of this. And I love how, even though this looks fun and simple, it can be really, really mean. Like, maybe you put it here, and then someone else goes up here to block you, and because this is really cheap, and then someone goes up high to just get the one that they want. And all the marbles are worth different points here. You can see here, like, the white ones are 5 and the green ones are 1. And so, yeah, and as cool as this is, you got to go to these bottom spaces here, which is to collect the villagers in the village, because otherwise you don't get points. And so you get points from the villagers and the set collection there, and you also get points from the marbles that you collect. So you really have to balance that out of what you do and when. And folding this up kind of looks like this. So you kind of want to give it a little bit of slack, but I've seen Alan's copy, and he just makes this super flat and flush. It terrified me, but he's like, it's okay. I'm like, if you say so, buddy. So I'm going to put this back in the box here, and we're going to move on to the next game from Board Game Nations. And this is pretty good. I just really like the llamas. They use a Taiwanese manufacturer, and the Taiwanese manufacturer is kind of known for using like this nice white cardboard. Let me see if I could show it to you here, like this nice kind of white. It makes the pieces look a lot cleaner. Not that there's anything wrong with the color brown. It's just, something nice and different. Okay, we put it here. And 12 Rivers is here. This game sold out in an hour, like last year. So if you wanted to get it and you couldn't get it last year, now's your chance and come back and get it. This game plays. Man, it's just really really nice. It's really really beautiful. I like to play this out. Sometimes when some of my friends come over for like a game night, and they'll bring their kids, and I played this out once, and then ever since then they're like, "Want to play it again? Want to play it again?" Whew. Moving on. All right. You might know Board Game Nations. That was a Board Game Nations game. You might know them because I think their most well-known game is Yinyang. And again, this is a big, crazy box size, and it does fit, thankfully, in a calyx. So thank you for little miracles there. But it's a very odd shaped box, and I don't think there's another game with this box size, and it's really really big. They might in a year or two, like he said that when they finish this current print run, they are thinking about making it like a Ticket to Ride size box. And then, but if you open this up, it comes with its own little cardboard insert, which is quite nice. The insert here, and here is the main board. So the theme of this is that you are Taoist priests, monks, walking around spreading the word of Taoism throughout ancient China. And everything is double-sided here. So this is the English version here, and you can see the English down here, and then this is the traditional Chinese down there. If you didn't know, there are two writing systems in Chinese. There's traditional, which is mostly exclusively here in Taiwan and Hong Kong, and then you have simplified Chinese, and which is the rest of China, just all of mainland China. These are the player boards here. Let me show you the English side. Now these are, you see 6 spots here for coins, and the game comes with some metal coins, and they're like this, like nice proper metal coins there. Yeah, like really really nice metal coins. And you will basically take these and toss them up in the air, not too high, hopefully, and you'll flip them over, and then they have stickers on them. So one side, in case you have trouble distinguishing the sides, like one side is black and one side is white here, and that's true for all the coins. And then you're going to place them here, and depending on the pattern that you do, if you notice here on the side, like white, 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 black, white, black, white, right, and then black, black, black. And depending on the pattern you do, you'll get a free action. And then you're going to go down here and take them and put them into pairs. So you might do, yeah, they're big boxes, Gary. I think most of the world, Gary asked, may I assume Taipei apartments are larger on average than those in Tokyo? I would say, yeah. Your average apartment here is larger than the ones in Tokyo, because the ones in Tokyo are tiny, kind of tiny. I am sweating up a storm here, so I'm gonna turn the AC down, up, stronger. Yeah. That's a good point, Tammy. Thank you for mentioning that. All these publishers actually have pre-orders. All 4 of these publishers. So Board Game Nations, Mo Ideas, Wonderful World Board Games, and Play With Us Design all have pre-order pages, and you could find that on them. They all are Taiwanese publishers. So when you want to know more about a Taiwanese publisher game, you go to Facebook. Facebook has a penetration rate in Taiwan of in the like 95%, something like that. That means 95% of Taiwanese people have a Facebook account. Like I'm dead serious. And you might think that Facebook is for old people, but in Taiwan, like I don't know, I used to be a teacher, and so like I would see some of my students posts, and like one of them was this girl. She was pretty cool. She had like a post about her eating ice cream, and then it was like 1,000 likes. Just ridiculous, and so it's really big here. A lot of restaurants don't even have web pages because they just have a Facebook page because it's free, and a lot of businesses do that as well. And all these Taiwanese publishers also do that, and that's probably the fastest way to get in touch with them is via Facebook. But after you place these coins here, you're going to place them here. And then you'll notice here that they'll have different things that you can do. So maybe you go to the temple, maybe you move by road, maybe you move by sea, and maybe you pick up some goods on the space that you're there. And that means that it's programming. So what does programming mean? Well, let me show you the map. I'll get there. And this is the map. The map is double-sided for different player counts. No, for Chinese and English, yeah, for different player counts. So this is the map here. And you can be wandering around here. So you can see that there are different roads. There's like rivers and there are roads. And you got to program your monk to move around, rebuilding the temples that were smashed, planting things. And then you'll notice down here that, yeah, there's area control. This is the name of the province here of different parts of ancient China. So you're fighting for area control. That's one of the ways you score points in the game. You'll be picking up gems. These are what the gems represent. I have a little key here. And the gems that you collect, you're going to be placing on your own little grid here. And the reason why you're going to be placing them in that grid is because you have like these little tokens here. Now, let's see here. Yes, like this. And these little squares, are they going to take them and put them out here? So everyone's little area here is going to be different. And depending on like if you score diagonally, horizontally, or vertically, then it'll trigger the corresponding token, and then you'll gain points that way, or you'll gain certain abilities that way. And it's all listed here on your player aid. My player aid is in Chinese. I could read Chinese, so it's fine for me. But they do have English ones for you, so it's not that big of a deal. One of the other cool things about this game is that they have, like a lot of games have, like you get like this little token, and if you don't use it at the end of the game, you get points. Or you use it and it's like this big ultra ability. And this game does it, but it does it in like this big, crazy, like a prayer thing style. And these are like things that deal with like I guess religious ideas and concepts of Taoism. And it's just really big, exuberant, and crazy. But the main thing, the biggest bling, that the reason why people talk about this game is this giant metal shell. This is metal. Not plastic, not wood, but metal. And you take your metal coins and you put metal coins in it and you shake them up and you toss it around. And just so you can hear what that sounds like, I will oblige you. Oh, here, yeah. And and then you dump it out. And depending on what's rolled, like certain actions will be blocked, certain things you can't do. So it creates some blocking there. And you'll dump them out, and depending on what they are and the order that they come in, you'll block certain actions here. And yeah, the game is really good. This plays unlike anything that you've ever played before, which is the most unique thing. And it's there's like this little hole here for the shell. You just stick it in there. There you go. Like they actually made a little space for it. I think that's really, really cool. This game is really cool. I really, really like it a lot. And I think it's when you get it, it'll be unlike anything that you've played before. There might be some similar mechanics, but the whole way the coins and the Taoist symbols work is really nice. This game looks a little bit intense, but it's actually quite smooth and pretty easy. I think after the first round, you're like, oh, okay, I get it. I'm just programming my monk to move a certain way. When you play like the lower player count game, like it's not too bad, but when you get to like the 4-player game, it gets like pretty crowded on the board, and it gets really fun and really tense. Let's see here. Red Beetle asks, just joined the live stream. What is the title of this game? This is Yinyang from Board Game Nations, and all these games come from the same booth, which is 2D102. This is Yinyang. They did Board Game Nations is known for making wild, wacky games. This is one that's actually really solid and a little bit heavier on the heavier side. If you're looking for games from Asia that do heavier games, then Board Game Nations is definitely one to look at. The other game that you may have missed is this one, 12 Rivers. This sold out at Essen last year for under an hour, and you can see why, because it has amazing, amazing table presence. Time for coffee. Hmm. They all have English rules. As I would say, Red Beetle, like as a general rule, like Taiwanese publishers design their games to be language independent, meaning that all they have to do is change a rule book or create a PDF, and that way it's really easy to get other publishers to license their games naturally. So most Taiwanese publishers keep their games language independent, and they'll have English rules inside or have a PDF. One time I've even seen them make like a QR code sticker, and then just put the sticker on the shrink wrap. And I think someone asked us like, "What if I take the shrink wrap off?" I was like, "Well, you cut out the QR code and you just toss it in the box." And I'm like, "Oh yeah." Iconography on the boards, or just keeping the rules play kind of simple. Let's see here. Can everyone still see me? Yeah. Let me move that camera a little bit here. There we go. Moving on. This game, 社会是 this is called Corrupt Parliament. And even though you don't see Corrupt Parliament on the box, that is the name. 社会 means society. And then 是 is like things to do. So 社会是 this game, look at the table, the box size. It's just ridiculous. And yeah, it's a different box shape than Yinyang, like because Board Game Nation is just wacky like that. And their back of the box is even more intense. Like when you look at that. This is a negotiation game. If you really like negotiation games, then this is something that I would recommend you look into. Now, what's interesting about this is that when you take a negotiation game, like let's take a popular one, like Saturday Confluence. Saturday Confluence is very loose. Like you're just making deals left and right any way you want. You can keep them, you can break them, maybe, and you're making deals all the time. Like that's the game. This one condenses it and blocks you in the sense of that you can make one deal every round. That's it. And you have to be really focused and focus all the energy into the one thing. And they do that with this really, really cool envelope system here. And you can see all the components here I have in bags. And they give you these little envelopes here. And you just toss in whatever your bribe is in here. And then you just give it to the player of your choice. And everyone has an envelope and they all pass it every round. And I really like this concept because what's so cool about this is that it's tight, meaning that you only have one bribe, but it's loose as opposed to what's in the bribe, meaning that you could say, all right, look, I'll give you 2 million if you do this. And that's what you tell everyone. And then you give them the envelope, and that person takes the envelope and they look inside and they say 10 million. So you lie to everyone else and you're actually bribing them even more money to do what you asked them to do. And that's so fascinating. And you can even give them less money. You can give them different icons. Like you could try and drop off like, hey, I'll give you B. And maybe that can bring you up and make you a little bit stronger. But then you actually give them A, and they see that, oh, I'm already leading an A, giving me more, he's going to give me more strength. So you're lying to other people and maybe hoping that that person that you're giving the bribe to can see what you're actually really bribing them. That's really fascinating. And I think that's the most interesting part of the game. And yeah, I mean, you have like lots of these to give out every game. Like sometimes you could fold them. I never did because there's no real point. The one thing that I always had trouble with is that I don't know how to say this. Like numbers work differently in Chinese than in English. So we put a comma between our numbers. Like in American English, we use, and then like in Great Britain and in Australia, we put a comma after every 3 digits. So 1, 000, right? 1,000. 1 million has 2 commas, like 1, 000, 000, right? But in Chinese, it's every 4. Every 4 zeros get a comma. So when you see this, it says 100,000. That means 1 million. So this little character here, 1, means 10,000. So 110,000 is 1 million. And then you can see it up here where it says 1 million. So that could be a little confusing. But I mean, honestly, it doesn't matter so long as you have an agreement on the table of just saying 100. If you want to do the printed number, that's what I do. And it makes it a little bit easier. And you'll see these certain icons and you'll vote on them. And there's a whole bunch of other mechanics to this game. But and here's the board itself. And it looks really complicated, but it's really, really not. And there are these different types of categories of different businesses that you have, and you can go up and down on your influence on them. And there's an election every year, and if you don't get elected, then you can't vote, but then you can come back and then next following year. And you have like these really crazy player shields because there's like this post-apocalyptic, ultra corrupt future, and you can see like these evil hands here coming out of the hospital. You have like this the shipping industry here. You have the docks, like this party nightlife, and like it's just like the massive Buddhist temples here, and naturally finance. And it's I can't explain it. It's just like it's really really interesting on the things that you vote on. And here are some of the character cards. The cards are so crazy in this game. Like these are the characters. So like the finance person is like this sleek looking businesswoman. Where's this guy? The fisherman is this great like chubby Asian dude with like a phone and like a polo. And I swear to God, like I've seen this guy somewhere before because it's just hilarious looking. And like you can see here on the back, like I love the art style here. The rule book is in English, and you could even if you want something with icons, you could put it here, so you can see it there. And you have like these voting cards that you do for voting for different laws that come into play, and the laws can be all sorts of weird things. Like what is this? Research on development of I can't read backwards. Serum to make workers abnormal, strong, and non-stop working, and not stop working. Like these weird things, like subsidy for trading in old domestic sex toys for new. Like it's just bizarre, and it's these weird things because ultimately, like whatever's the text that's on there doesn't matter. It's just the icons. Like if you win it, then you go up two on the shipping influence. And but it's just weird, and it creates like this weird atmosphere. I don't know how to explain it, but it creates this weird atmosphere in the game, and you're voting on these weird concepts, and it gets you into this weird dystopian future type of mindset, and you're making these bids and things like that. The rule book is in English, so here you go, Corrupt Parliament game rule book, and it comes with pictures and things like that. So it's there. Hand hold your hands, but it's a very very uniquely designed game and just kind of out there with a theme and very bizarre. And I mean, the back of the player shields has this nice little player aid for the rounds to show, just to remind you of what you're doing. And yeah, but the beauty of this game is the envelopes. The envelopes are what really make this game. So if you are into negotiation games, this is something I would recommend. But I would say the caveat of like, are you into certain kinds of negotiation games? Because if you want something that's very, very loose, where you're just making deals all the time, like this may not be for you. Like I had that experience once where I said, like, oh, do you like negotiation games? You'll like this. And they said it was too restrictive. I actually really like that restriction of like forcing you to kind of harness that bribe into like one place. I think that's really interesting. And I would like to see that mechanic explored more in games. Once again, that was Board Game Nations, but we're going to go on to their craziest game. And it's pretty intense. Now, I saw that some of you may have seen the thumbnail to this video. Let me know in the comments if you saw the thumbnail with this weird puppet, Gong Fu puppet. Because that's a whole story. So let me see here. I'm going to get my phone here for a second. And I want to show something to you because it is just, when I show this to people, no one believes me. And it's just nuts. So here we go. Here we go. So it's awesome. This is just so cool. We're getting here. We're getting here. So these are puppets that are fighting. This is a TV show. This TV show exists in Taiwan. It is just absolutely nuts. This is kind of like based off of like kung fu TV shows of back in the day, and they make these stop motion TV shows with these puppets. Like it's just wild. And there are even movies that come out. There's a movie that came out earlier this year. It was actually in movie theaters. You would go and watch these puppets. These puppets, I think, in real life, and I've actually gone and seen them. They're like this tall. They're massive. They're like the size of a child. And people spend all this time with special effects, and they add all these CG effects of lightning and stuff. And you saw how smooth that was, right? That was really, really smooth. And it's like this old style of Kung Fu Hidden Dragon type of Kung Fu stories. And this is called Pili. Pili is like a thunder. And this TV show has been in Taiwan for decades. And in fact, I think like some point in the 80s, uh, like 90% of Taiwanese households watched the show. It's huge. It was huge in the day, and it's still really big now. So if you thought like Thunderbirds in the US had its heyday, or like Team America had its heyday for a year, this TV show has been on the air for decades. It's just nuts when you watch it. And I've watched the movie, I've watched like an episode, and it's just you're just watching this going, I think it's stupid, but it captures me, and I'm enthralled, and I'm watching this, and you're just eating it up because the special effects and the fighting, and the sound editing that they do is really top notch. I mean, I edit my own videos, but I can't edit it like that. Like it's just amazing. And so, Board Game Nations and another Taiwanese publisher, Mizo Riot, they worked together with Pili, and they made this game. And this is Pili, the New Challengers. And this game takes place in that universe. So you are one of these characters, and you are grinding away. And this is like the most unique game I could think of. Like it's just wild, wild theme. So if you don't know what the theme is, then yeah, maybe you might have trouble like relating to it. But as you can see from the box, like you can see all these characters here, all of these ultra like flamboyant costumes. They all look great, all really cool. Pili, the New Challengers, right there. It's just really, really off the wall, but nuts. Oh, look, candy. So we're gonna do this like, and if you see here on the rule books, like you have, this is the Chinese rule book here, so you can see that there's Chinese inside. If you've never seen a Chinese rule book, that's what they look like. And let's see here, the rules. It's like 15 pages of rules. How are the rules? Well, I will say that the rules are fantastic because I also, if you see here, translators, there's me, Jay Bernardo. I helped proofread these rules. So, I think Daryl Chow of Origame, Singapore publisher Origame, he did the initial translation. And then I came in and just tightened things up to smooth some of the wording and change the names a little bit. But the rules, I think, are pretty well written. I mean, I edited a lot of it, so I think it's pretty easy to understand. This is such a unique game because I don't know how to explain it. I don't know many games. Essentially, the first part of the game, this game becomes as two parts. The first part of the game is you are grinding away. You are harnessing your chi. You are like building your chi up here, right? You're building your chi. You're trying different levels here too, so that way you could master skills, and you could pick up like these. Let's see here. No, that's money. You could pick up these. Where are they? You can befriend heroes. Let me show you some of these hero cards because these hero cards are great. Like you can find these heroes and you could befriend them because the art is great on these. Like the art is so cool. You can pick up like these heroes and like befriend them. They can become your friends. They can help you fight, make you stronger, and you got to kind of bribe them and give you gifts. But there's a ton of them. Like there's a ton of them in here. Like you would not. They did not. They did not. You are not going to run out. Like there's tons of variety, and each card is unique, and each card is fantastically drawn by hand. So it looks amazing. So not only can you pick up heroes, but you could harness like different chi effects, like here. And let's see here. Where are the cards? Where are the cards? Where are the cards? Here they are. But you also get to pick up like new skills that you're learning, and that's one thing that's really really cool. Yeah, here they are. So certain cards will have like your ability needs to be at a certain level here. So you need to have like this minimum to learn this skill, and then over here you'll on the back you'll see this different skill, and we'll get to what this means in a second. But there are these different cards that you could do, and this whole thing about grinding and picking up things, and you can pick up weapons too, and different weapons. Like you have to pick up these are weapons here. These are double sided. One side has Chinese, like you see here, and one side has English here, and they have like different like spells and things that you can unlock, and different scrolls and things that you can and read and learn and get yourself better. Like what is the name of this? Like dwelling in the Fuchen Mountains, like along the river during the Qingmen Festival, like ancient burning furnace, 8 diagram mirror. Like there are all these things that you could do to kind of build yourself up. You're gaining weapons, you're gaining gear, you're fighting villains, you're befriending friends, you're harnessing skills. Like that's like what the first half of the game is, like grinding that you have like in JRPGs. You're grinding, getting stronger, and maybe you fight like some villains or foes. And let me show you these cards. And just like the heroes, like these are unique. So like here's one. Like here's like one of the stronger ones. Like all these cards are hand drawn and done by art, and each one of these cards is completely unique, and all the art looks really really cool. Like I love looking at these cards and the artwork here. I think it's really beautiful. Now all these cards, and then at the end of this, and there's weird things you could do too. Like there's some die rolling for different things, resources that you can get, and like there are these little crystals that help you out and give you a little bit more flexibility in play. And you're just building up, grinding up, getting strong, and that's the first half of the game. That's it. And you'll see your points. So let's say you're playing a 4-player game, and then whoever comes in the first place and last place become a team, and then second and third place become a team, and then you flip over the board and you start the second half of the game, which becomes this tactical skirmish battle on this map. What? Like, I don't know another game that's like this. You play this resource management game, yeah, and then now you're in a tactical skirmish fight. Like, it's just nuts. And then what you use in this fight are all the cards that you get. Like, so looking back at these cards here, like you see this, like this is attack that you could use to attack the hexes around you, or here's attack that attacks in a straight line. Like here's an attack that does like an AOC, right? So and they all have these great names. Like what is this? Reflections of Sun and Snow, the 3 primordial techniques, Prajana's Prayer, like Giga Thunderbolts, Wind Cutter, Divine Emperor's Slash. I mean, like these are just great theming here. Like it's really, really good. And you see the name in Chinese and you see the name in English. It's just really cool with everything that they've done here. I really can't express how enough, like just how cool this concept is. And let me show you the figures, because on this board, as the tactical board here, right, you'll have your little meeples on here. But in addition to the meeples, maybe you picked up one of those heroes, right? Maybe you picked up and you befriended one of those heroes. Each of the heroes in this deck, each of them have their own little token. Pull back here. Yeah. They each have their own little token here. And you can see this one here. Yeah. And so why do you want heroes on the board? They're an expensive thing to do. Like they could join you for fights in the first half of the game, but if you want them to join the fight in the second half of the game, they're expensive to bribe. But if you get them, then they can become like these little like icons here that are just like ghosts. Like no one can hit them, and they just kind of follow you around, and you can move them around, and they all do like different things. Like it's like death by 1,000 needles. Like you just and like it's just really really cool. And your score your score from the first half becomes your HP in the second half. Like utterly bizarre, really neat. In fact, one time I played this game and I wasn't doing that well, but the first player was doing so well, and that I was like, all right, I'm going to tank. I want to come in last place, so I'm tied with him, and then maybe we can win the skirmish battle, which we did, and it was awesome, very very cool. And oh yeah, the meeples. So here are your player boards, and what's really neat is that you have these. No. Where did they go? I don't know where they went. That's bizarre. They must be here somewhere. But anyway, you have these player boards here, right? And then these are the places for everything that you get, and they have them in English as well. So here they are in English, so you don't have to feel scared. So you're training the mercenaries that you pick up. They become allies with you. These are the fallen foes, like the foes that you defeat. This is for the the skills that you have mastered. I can't read backwards sometimes. And then when it comes to the second half of the game, you're going to flip it over and you're going to have this. And this is the battle mode. And essentially what's going to happen is you're going to cover this up, and then you're going to move a meeple here, and then you lift it up, and then that shows where your meeple moved to. And naturally you play a card for movement, and the meeples look like this. Oh, this is so cute. So cute. I'm so happy they did this. The meeples look like this. Right? And you can see there that little end, that little tip going up. I mean, it could look like they're giving you the bird, but they're really that kung fu stance of this, doing this. So when you place them on the board, let me grab the yellow one because the yellow one will pop more. When you place them on the board, it just looks so hilarious and kind of cute. Like it looks really neat. You have the board here, and then this hand gesture is to show like which direction you're facing, because depending on which way you face, like your attack could do something different. And I think that's just something really little they didn't have to do, but I'm so glad they did, because that not extra mile, but extra inch that they went really makes the difference in the game. And I don't know many games that do this, where like it's like you're building up, in this resource management game, like standard Euro strategy games. No, now you're in a tactical skirmish fight, and that's so cool. And I remember asking the publisher and the designer, like, why did you design the game that way? And he's like, well, we felt that you're building up, and then it felt kind of boring. Like we wanted to destroy something. You're building up, you grind away in a game. You want to swing that sword. It's not enough to actually unlock the power sword. Like you want to swing it and do damage. You want to see that 99999 damage hit on the screen, right? That feels good. Like you've earned it. But this game is really cool. This is one that's not leaving my collection, and I'm keeping this because the theme of this is just so much fun. Like I don't think a game captures theme like this in many games that I've seen. And I have mixed feelings with the money, but the money is like this old school style of paper, which you don't really see that often. Like it's this nice kind of old school style paper that kind of fits into the theme. I think that's really neat. They didn't have to do that, but I'm so glad, so glad they did. Oh no, it goes here. So yeah, baggies. Themes. Any questions on this? Because this game is utterly bizarre. I absolutely love it. It's a Descent of the Abyssal Dragon. Very cool. Each dragon's reversal, infinite variation. Oh man, this attack is just brutal. Like it attacks everything here. Sword of the Prime. Look at that. Like I love these names. Like the Trial of the Gods. Like this is. Whoop. And like some of these are really strong. So now that you've seen the map and you have context to what it does, really cool. So every battle, like you pick a card and then you swing, and it really captures that feeling of like that Peely TV show. Like I'm glad I showed that to you, so you have a little bit of context to it, because man, this game really nailed it. It really nailed that feeling of this big epic like Kung Fu battle. Here they are. Yeah, and these are the player shields. right? Like it's just this wild, super outlandish thing. I absolutely love it. Like it's just really, really cool here. And you can see the color of the bottom is to show everyone. So when you're moving your thing on the board, like that's what you're doing. Really, really cool. I really, really dig this game. Yeah, and the math works in this game. It's really interesting. The first half of the game feels a little bit like Puerto Rico Race for the Galaxy. Like I take this action, I everyone chooses which actions they take. Like the six actions, I believe, and then like I get a real strong version of this action, and everyone else just takes a weaker version. So you're kind of each round will be different because maybe you don't know what other people are going to go for, and you can kind of look at see everyone else's tableau and kind of see like okay, obviously he's going to do this, obviously she's going to do that, so I can do something else that I want and get a little bit of everything that I need. Really well done. This is just yeah, I can't praise this enough. Like it's just the theme of this is just so cool. Whew, and it's coffee time. And that is Board Gaming Nations. I'm going to go through a quick recap of their four games that they're bringing, and then we'll move on to another publisher. Whew. All right, so we had Pele Nations, which is just this kung fu puppet TV show with really great hand drawn art. So if you were furious at with Terraforming Mars, the whole deal of the AI generated art, well then here's Pele, the new challengers, showing you that yeah, this is hand drawn art. So support those artists to do that. It's really really cool. This is Corrupt Parliament. This is a negotiation game in a dystopian future. This is a lighter family game of 12 Rivers that involves this massive, really hip board with the marbles falling down and you collecting marbles and being slightly mean and canceling other people off. This is Yinyang. You are Taoist priests traveling the land. There is a giant metal turtle shell with metal coins, and you and Taoist priests are traveling around ancient China, spreading the word of Taoism. And that is Board Game Nations. They make literally heavy games. Literally heavy games. I'm feeling the workout here of lifting these boxes. Any questions on these games? Just type them down below, and I'll do my best to answer them when I can. Moving up. Now because my arms are tired, we need to go back to a publisher who makes small box games. This right here, this is Play With Us design. And if I could, let me get an oink box here. Ooh. Ooh. And if I could pick a publisher to say they're the oink of Taiwan, it'll probably be this one. Mostly because all the boxes came in the small size. Let me show you like an oink size box for reference. So they're a little bit bigger than oink. And all the games, not all the games come in black boxes, but they have quite a few games up there. And you could go there. And I believe that we're playtesting most of them out there. But these are the two biggest sellers. Let's talk about this one first. This one I put in my top 20 board games of all time from Taiwan. I made like two videos, like top 20, like 20 to 11 and 10 to 1. Yinyang from Board Game Nations made it onto the top 20 list of board games on there. Not all the games that you'll be seeing today will be on that list because I hadn't fully played them at the time of that, and some of these are brand new. Solo Ween is the one that made that top 20 list. I think I had it tied with Vita Moors. I flip-flop back and forth about which one I like more. But let's talk about Vita Moors because it has that UV shine on that box, and it also won the UKGE award for like the most strategic card game. And let's open it up and I'll tell you why. This is a 3 to 6 player game, and it's really interesting. This is a social deduction game. So one, if you don't like social deduction games, that's it. Sorry, it's something I could do for you. Bye. But it's unique in the social deduction world, and let me explain why. It does something that most social deduction games don't do, and I'm really picky with my social deduction games. They can kind of devolve into screaming and shouting matches, which it's not necessarily my cup of tea, but it could be yours. Maybe you love that. This does it in a very different way. Like you determine who's doing what by their actions, and you're not even really allowed to talk, really. So it's not you just follow the actions of what people do, and then you logically deduce who's who. This won the award for like most strategic game at the UKGE, and it also comes with this guy here, this nice metallic Plague Doctor, and this box here has two of them, just because I just looked out that way. There you go. There's two. And it comes with this little styrofoam here, so you can just put his nose inside, and it'll protect all the components inside. Now, the components are all like that classic Taiwanese white cardboard. So let me show you what I mean when I say that. Here, and here they are. Here, there we go. And you can see, oh, my nails are so ugly. They have this nice white cardboard here, and it feels really nice and clean on the board. And you don't really get that a lot. And you get like these metal, coins. Like, I don't know what it is. Like they have like these great metal coins for the players. Here's one side, and then there's the other. So let's see if we can show you both. There we go. And this game is just really, really cool. And the artwork on this is really something special, because it kind of looks like that. Sorry, it has this great like stained glass window look to it. Like the artwork just looks really, really stunning and really nice, kind of like almost timeless looking. And it just has like this really nice look to all the cards. And yeah, it's just really, really nice looking. The cool thing here is that like you have like these different decks, and even the decks have a little bit of fuzziness to them. So like, for example, here you'll see on the bottom, it says like 3 green and 2 purple. And then you'll see here, like that's the contents of the deck. So there's a little bit of fuzziness there. And each of these have like different abilities and characters that pop out and how you play and really affect the gameplay. This is a really nice social deduction game. And I think that when you play this, you'll have a lot of fun. And just looking at the different choices that people make makes this really interesting. And wow, there's so many pieces here. This is a social deduction game that I think it plays okay at 3. I think when you want to see this game in full action, you need that full 6. I think 5 or 6 is where it works best. 4 is okay. It's okay at 4, but 5 and 6 I think is where it really, really shines. But you know, what do I know? Like, I might say that, but like people in the UK really love this game. It won the UKGE award this year, and I'm going to keep saying that because I think this game deserves that. How do you guys feel about metal components in games? Like, do you feel that it's an unnecessary expense? Man, like what you get a lot in here. This has that oink problem too, of like components barely fitting in the box. Like you have to have a system of putting it into the box. So I'm going to slide that in there, slide that in here, and that is Vita Morris. This is probably one of their best-selling games, and because it won the UKGE award, they're just going to sell more. But my favorite of theirs, and the one that I'm keeping with me for the trip home, and was on my top 20, was this one. I think if I had to choose between these two, I lean a little bit more towards this because this is more in my wheelhouse. This is a 2-player abstract, and I really like 2-player abstracts. The board is this. Is it neoprene? I don't know if it's neoprene. This is that same kind of cloth you use to clean your eyeglasses. So one of my friends actually used it to clean his glasses once, and I it happened so quickly. I didn't have time to process it because I was still thinking to myself, why would he do that? Hi, Amanda. Welcome. I'm talking about Soloween. I'm talking about booth 2D102, which is going to be at Essen this year. There'll be 4 Taiwanese publishers there. Board Game Nations makes heavy, literally and mechanically heavy games. I talked about them earlier in the live stream, and now I'm talking about Play With Us Designs, who have I think 6 games, but they're going to be focusing on these 2. This is the one that won the award for Vita Moors, which is a 3 to 6 player deduction game where you don't talk. So everything that you deduce by the player's actions. Really cool. It comes with metal components. Really, really nice. This is their 2-player abstract Soloween, which has this death god theme. So you have this little mat here, and it's really nice. I think it's neoprene. But man, look at these components. It's really cool. You get this cute little acrylic stand here. That's one, right? That's really cool. That's a baby death god, in case you want to know what baby death gods look for. I'm sad I won't be going to Essen. It's definitely on my bucket list. Oh, you should. Have you ever been to Essen, Amanda? It's pretty amazing. I think everyone needs to go at least twice. Twice is what I'm saying. Once, because you get the googly eyes of going, ah, and the second to actually go around and be a little bit more calm and kind of enjoy your time there. But on to Halloween, look at this. This is wood. Look at that wooden component. Really nice, thick wooden components. And you don't get one, you get 16 of these. Look at this whole box. You get 16 of them. And why? Because they're here. Now, this plays a little bit like Reversi. And I know when people, or Othello, if you don't know what Reversi is. And this mechanic that I'm about to show you is pretty similar. You've seen this in a lot of games. And I think the camera is here. Maybe we'll move it down. Chaos! Going. Yeah, we'll do it down here. And because you've never been, Amanda, you should go. It's amazing. Definitely find time to go. I will definitely go next year. So go next year, and we could go together and hang out and have a blast. So here we go. And then whatever you place it here, when you place a token here, and you are neither green or red. I got to mention that. It doesn't matter. And so you place it here, and then any token that you're next to, orthogonally next to, will flip. So if I place it here, this won't flip, right? So then you slowly do things like this, and they will slowly flip around. So the red goes here, so this will flip all of these. And then once you get 4 in a row, you trigger an event. You get a point. Amanda says, I need to find money to go, but I would love to go together because you know all the cool Asian games. I know most of them. I don't know all of them. I'm really close to knowing all of them. I will reach Final Form one day. But you get this. And that's alone is fine. You get 3 points, you win the game. That alone that can be a little boring, not as interesting. What makes this game really neat, though, is that you have this. If I can get there, I can get there. So they're just like Oink, right? They have multiple rules and multiple languages, right? They definitely feel like Oink in that sense. You have this, and these are various death gods that you have. And each death god plays a little differently. So there's asymmetry in the game. She's dead, I think. She's some dead one there. There you go. And they all score differently. So this is the base game here. Right? And you could win by either getting a straight line. You get a point for either getting a straight line or a diagonal. But if you do this, and I think with the expansion, they have an expansion that comes with the game, of more characters. Yeah. If you get this, you'll see that here are the 3 different versions of characters that you can have. So this is the Grim Reaper one. They need to get 3 of these shapes. And they need to get 1 of each of these tokens. And you do that by getting these shapes. So you get a square, you get a sickle, and you get your traditional ones. This means you do this, and then your opponent can't use the red, can't use the green. And this one, they flip back and forth. And in fact, I made my own token for that. like this. This is what I want. I made this for the game just to help keeping track. And this one does it to where like if you're the white, then you flip things diagonally, and if you're black, then you could do things normally like orthogonally. And you don't think that makes a big difference, but this is such a mind job in the game, and that juxtaposition of two different styles of play is really interesting because you're focusing on, well, I'm focusing on these, but my opponent is doing other things, and they're playing differently than me, and they're interacting with the board differently than me, and that just makes the game really really fun. I think I took this with me on a trip to Tokyo once, and I played this multiple times. We would just pull this out, play a quick game. One time we were at a bar and we were playing this, and then like some Japanese people were nearby, and like some Japanese gamers were nearby. And they're, oh, what is this? And they saw how to play, and then I taught them how to play, and then we had like some impromptu tournament there. Really cool. I really really like this game, and I just I love these wooden components. And you may not be able to see this on here, but like I'll turn it a little bit, and you can see how like this is raised a little bit. Like you could feel like there's a slight texture to these wooden components, and I love the fact, and I love this great tactile feel. That's fun. Do you know how to speak Japanese? No, I know absolutely zero Japanese. I mean, I know some like itadakimasu and like little things like that. Yet absolutely none. My friend that I was with could speak Japanese, but people play games, right? We all speak games. I think Eric Martin, who works for BGG, he said that Essen is his favorite convention because you see people from all over the world there, and that are, even though they have different languages and different cultures, we're all gamers who speak gaming, and that's really beautiful. Mine is Tokyo Game Market because Game Market is just this weird weird event, and if you've never gone, then you definitely got to check it out. Yes, but this is Soloween. I really like this. I ended up playing this more than Vita Moors, and so this is the one that I like more. This is, I think, is their best-selling game. I believe it's because like a lot of Taiwanese publishers, what they do is they find local artists with a following. So like maybe a famous web comic or someone who has like an IP and just makes stuff, and then you ask them to help design a game. So this has a pretty strong IP already in Taiwan, and then just use that IP to make a game. Really clever, really smart. Yes, that's awesome. I'm very intimidated by the Tokyo Game Market, but really want to go one day. Don't be intimidated at all. It's so much fun. I mean, like no one there will speak English at all, and it was very weird for me because when I went to Game Market, like I met with publishers that I've had long conversations with online. Like we had long like text messages, and I would text them and DM them, and I talk to them, they talk to me, and then when I meet them, they don't speak any English. So it's like this, hello, and it just became this very quiet greeting, and that was it. But that was interesting. I didn't see that coming. The game doesn't come with these little plastic bags. I use them. Each plastic bag is a different death god, so I just have to pick one. But yeah, Tokyo Game Market is so cool. What I love, Amanda, about Tokyo Game Market is that at Essen, if let's say like Play With Us Designs, they sell out of their games. That's all their games, like all the thousands of games they have, they sell out. They'll still stay at their booth. They'll stay at the booth, demo some games, talk to people, meet and greet. But a Game Market, no, you sell out of games, you just leave, and then someone else will take the table space. Like it's just nuts. Like you walk around, you see one game in the morning, you're like, oh yeah, that looks cool. I'll come back in the afternoon and I'll pick one up. And you come back in the afternoon and someone else is there, completely different game. And they do this every single day. And some people only go on Saturday. Some publishers are only there on Sunday. And it's just nuts. And there's so many publishers there, and there's so many small, quirky little stands. Really, really cool stuff. I'm going to move the camera back up because I love my back and don't want to have back issues. Nice. But Game Market is good. Also, you'll be in Tokyo with like tons of great food. One of my favorite things to do when I fly to Tokyo is to get there early So maybe take like a midnight flight, get there early in the morning, and then you can't check into their hotel. The city is just kind of waking up. I will just take the train to Skiji and just go there in the morning, have like sashimi in the morning, and just like this nice, fresh and wake up of hello, welcome to Tokyo, and then go around to like one of the local areas and just like fool around and chill. And oh, it's great. It's great. You'll love it. Moving on. So this is Play With Us Designs. Soloween and Vita Moores are the two big recommendations I have for their booth. And so we did Board Game Nations and this one. So I wanted to take a break for the big physically heavy games and for this. Whew, moving on. Coffee break. And it's really funny that you haven't been to Tokyo Game Market because I haven't been to any of the big American conventions. Like I've never been to PAX. Like when I left America, PAX wasn't a thing. I left America a long time ago, like before smartphones were a thing. So I'm going back to an America that's utterly bizarre. Here, I'll talk about Mo ideas. Let's go this. I'm going to go to Wonderful World Board Games. And if you don't know Wonderful World Board Games, they make more family-friendly games. They make games that are a little bit more approachable, not as wild and crazy and dark as like Board Game Nations. But they make like games like this. This is I only have two of their games here. They make if you check out my videos, they have one called Animals Gathering. Animals Gathering is a really cute tile placement, drawn cards, and like all the animals in the forest become crystal. And so you draft, like you roll these dice and you draft like these little crystal components, and you draft these cards, which are these animals. And all the animals are made with all these like Tetrayamo shapes, and you're pulling these Tetrayamo shapes and you're creating animals. And once they get all the crystals on them, then they activate a special ability. And that's it. It's really simple. Draft cards, you gain crystals on the cards. If you complete the shape of the animal, then you trigger its effect. Pretty simple. And it's really nice, very approachable, and there's a good amount of depth there for that nice little game. But the cool thing about this, Amanda, is that the crystals aren't tetrayamanos. Like they're weird like shapes, and it looks really, really pretty. And I wish I had a copy to show you. But they have like these little games. They have the one called Loco Momo, which I got picked up by a French publisher, and it's like Tetris with animal squares. It's very, very cute. I really like the game. This I think is my probably my favorite of the games. Wonderful World Board Games also did another game. If I have it here, let me check. Somewhere here. No? Yes? Maybe? Is it here? I went through that whole culling of games, and now I don't know where any of my games are. Wonderful World Board Games also created, where's Cat Poker? Cat Poker will be here to help me. They also created a game called Touch It, which is really cool. Like on one side of a card here, let's imagine you'll see 4 pictures here, and the back of the card will be textured. And you look at the card, you put your hand here, and you feel the back, and then you have to kind of guess what's here on this picture. And you're like, oh, it's a sumo wrestler, and you look over. Really sweet. It's like 10 seconds each. I just taught you the game. First person to correctly identify 7 cards wins the game. That's it. That's the game. Really fast, super friendly, and yeah, really, really cool. I really, really like it. Lokomoma is a great game. It's really fun. That's right, Amanda. This is Cat Poker. That's a Japanese game. This would be at Tokyo Game Market in December, and I think it's worth getting. My favorite game from Wonderful World Board Games is this one, which is Geo Ibai Fun, which just means give me A+. And if you can see here, it's all about students taking a test. And not all of them are good students. And it's, oh man, like I want to show this to you. I don't think you'll be able to pick the game up at Essen, but I want to show this to you because it gives you an idea of like the style of their games, which is really, really funny. So this is the game board itself. Here we go. And you'll see is a room with 12 desks, right? And that's going to be important really quickly. And I love how they have these little details here of like the little books here. Some of the chairs are at an angle, and you can see the sunlight coming in to the room. Like I really like those little touches. It's not the extra mile. It's the okay, no, it's back. Okay, yay. It's not the extra mile, it's the extra inch that they do, right? Like all these little details that they add to the board. And one of the cute little things. Oh, let me do that with the camera right quick here. Here we go. One of the cool things that they did here is that they did this. So you put this above here, above the classroom, and so your scoreboard is the chalkboard. I think that's really neat. Like they didn't have to do that, but I think it adds so much adds to the texture and flavor of the game. And here's the English rule book here. Here's the Chinese rule book. And in the game, you'll get like a hand of cards, such as this. So like here's a green student. And then on the other side of the cards, you have all these other students. And the art is so much fun. Like you have like this great little artwork here. And it's really neat. And you can see these little arrows here. And what those arrows mean is that you're cheating because you have some cards here or students who actually know what they're doing and they can get good grades. But you also have other students who cheat. And so when you put them in here, you got to know where to put your students. You're taking turns playing these cards face down. So you have no idea. And it's, oh man, like some of the artwork on here is hilarious. Like you have this big muscular dude like in the classroom. You just put the card here and it fits like that. It's so great. And you do that and you place it down in there and then you flip the cards all over and you could see like, well, if the smart student was here and I had to guess that it was there, I could put my person here who's going to cheat. And you have some students are just idiots. So maybe I copied off an idiot student and I got a worse grade. And you have to just kind of play it right and try and get to, I don't know, get to the first person to get to 100 points. And I find that really, really fun. And I don't know, like it's something that I didn't have to do, but I think it's really light, but it's really fun. I used to be a teacher, so I find this really resonates with me. I find this quite hilarious. So I really enjoy the theming of this game. One of these weird things that they do in this game is this publisher does are these cards. They have a deck of cards. Hi Jay, my toddler wanted to wake up at 4:30 a.m. so I'm here live. Is this the Taiwan booth today? Yes, this is one of many Taiwan booths. Board game hubby. What is up, hubby? Good job. You're doing a good job. You're a good dad waking up at 4:30, taking care of the kiddo. This is booth 4D102. This has 4 publishers. This has Board Game Nations. This has, and they do big games like this one. Board Game Nations does this. Like this one is about Kung Fu puppet TV show in America. This is amazing. This is really great themed. First half of the game, you're grinding, getting weapons, getting gear, getting friends, harnessing your shi, learning magic spells. And the second half of the game, you're in this tactical skirmish fight. So cool. Then we talked about this one. This is Play With Us Design. They are like the Oink of Taiwan, have nice compact games. This is a social deduction game where you can't talk and you deduce who's doing what, who's who by the actions that they're taking. This is a 2-player abstract. I really like this one. This is my top 20 games from Taiwan of all time. And then now we are on to Wonderful World board games. This is Gale E by Fun. This is Give Me A plus, and this is about students cheating on a test, and you have to place. Everyone gets a deck of cards. Some students cheat like to the left. Some students cheat to the left and right. Some cheat above and behind, and some students are really smart. So you want to copy off those students. Some students are just didn't prepare at all, and they're going to get a bad grade. And hopefully, you could trick your opponents into copying off of them. And the first person to get 100 points wins. The board looks like a classroom. Look at this. It looks like a classroom. And the cards, the backs of the cards, this is the front of the cards here. All right, so he cheats left and right. And the front of the cards are students, and you put the student card on here so it looks like they're at the desk. Really cool, right? Great, clever theming there. And then the scoreboard is this: is a chalkboard. Really cool. And the first person to get to 100 points wins the game. And this is the unreleased English one. They may have a copy of this to demo though, so you should definitely ask and be there. They might have one to shop around and show other publishers, which is great. This is such a great game. I love this game a lot. I'm late. I'll watch the VOD tomorrow. Love that you're doing these streams. Hi, Brooke. Great that you're here. It's great to see you here. This is, but one of the things I do want to mention with Wonderful World board games that they do, and that no one else does, is they have like these little John cards. These are like prize cards. So if you win the game, you take this card and you give it to the other person, and they take this card home. Like that's it. You know, like that's really interesting. Like you don't really see that with games. Like and like you just take this card and take it home. So if this is my copy of the game, you win. Oh, here's a card, you take it home. And this is a game that challenges you to do that like this many times. So if your friends you don't know the game win this many times and then you run out, I think if you played the game this many times, you definitely got your money's worth. But that's really interesting. Like they're kind of like trading cards. It's just a gift card. You just take it and go. Like here's this one here, right? With the girl. There's just different pictures. They have like here they are, the students like at a rave. Like they, like it's just they use the characters of it. Like, oh, she's back at the night market. Here's one of the characters like at a bakery. Like it's just really interesting. I think Loco Momo did this as well. But they did it with scores. So if you get like 100 points and you get like the big black bear, and it's really cute. Like they didn't have to do that, but they did. I think that's really cool that they did. I forgot this. This is the acrylic standee that comes with Soloween. Do people collect them? Oh, yes, they do. I assume so. I guess people who do it, I don't know how many different cards there are. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, there's 4 different types of cards. Obviously, the Rave is everyone's favorite. I mean, look at that. You get the big muscular dude who's I just love that there's this big ripped guy taking tests. You can see him here on the cover. Like that's just hilarious to me. I think it's really funny. This little girl with pink hair, and then this big ripped grandpa. That's just awesome. I love it. The last one looks really cool. Generally, Asian publisher designers are really killing it in terms of theme and uniqueness. I own and like Soloween. Thumbs up. Yes, they do. These themes are great. Like this, like cheating on a test is great. I love that. Like I love how the subtleties in the box here. Like the guy is striking a pose. He got a terrible score, and everyone's mad because they copied off of him. Brilliance. Very tempted after yesterday's stream. Soloween's really good. I think it's a really good 2-player abstract. Not my favorite abstract to come from Taiwan, but one of them that I think is really good. I took this on a trip and had a nice impromptu tournament in a bar with Japanese people. So there's a lot of sentimental value there. This is a game called Rubber, Paper, Scissors, and it has this great art of like that kind of like oh my goodness, I can't think of the video game. Paper Cup? Is that it? Paper Cup? Tin Cup? Oh my goodness, I forgot the name of the video game. And I played that video game. And it's this really great art. This is a really interesting thought experiment here. This is this comes from the mind of Anthony Perron. Like he did Dive. Dive came out a few years ago. That Dive was the game with all these transparent tiles, and you kind of look, and maybe you see a shark, and you guess like it's 5 layers down or 3 layers down. And so, will you? Board Game Hubby asks, will you be doing a shout out of which games you think are most likely to sell out of these ones? My takeaway from the last video is that I'll be running for Itten, Oink, Sashi, and Sashi Booth first at Essen. Cuphead, thank you, Tammy. Cuphead, yes, Cuphead. This is the Cuphead art. Yes, I think that for this one, like in this video so far, I will say that like last year, 12 Rivers sold out in the first hour of Essen. So if you want to pick this up, like this is something that you may want to consider. This is this sold out because it has marbles going down. This is the game board. This is what the game board looks like. I'm racing you. Because man, oh man, like these, like their games here. Board Game Nations, I think Yinyang is one that's always in demand. I don't think they'll sell out. I think they're going to bring out quite a good number of these out to Essen, but people are always asking for this one. So when I do my videos, people are always asking for copies of this. So Board Game Nations is at the same booth. This is all the same booth, 4D 102. I think maybe in the next streams, I'll come up with a little card that I can hang here or something. Can fortunately be pre-ordered, which I did. Yeah, all these games can be pre-ordered. These 4 publishers do have pre-ordering pages. Just go to their Facebook page. I can't recommend that enough. Like Taiwanese publishers all use Facebook as their #1 social media of choice because in Taiwan, Facebook, I think 95% of Taiwanese people have a Facebook profile. So just go to their Facebook page and they'll do it. And maybe I'll put a link down below in the description after this stream ends. And that way you can just go down into the description and just follow these publishers and go to the pre-order pages. But let's see here. Ooh, I want to talk about this one. This is rubber, paper, scissors. And I think what I'm going to do is we're going to play this game right now, like the two of us, or me and all of you collectively, because I think it's that fast and that simple. So I'm going to move this here. I'm going to slowly move the camera without causing massive problems here. And we're going to slowly take this out. This is the prototype version of the game. You can see this nice quality cardboard here. And I love that they had this little design here. So you can see like this is how you score points in the game. So I will be blue and then all of you will be orange. Let me just dump all these tokens out here. And we will not use the binoculars at this time. Okay, so this is essentially tic-tac-toe and rock, paper, scissors all in one game. And they somehow gamified this in this very weird, interesting way. You'll gain points. So we'll play paper, rock, scissors, stone. So I will turn around and all of you in the chat will type in rock, paper, or scissors. And then I'll see which one showed up the most. And then I'll turn around and show mine. And then we'll see who wins. So you're going to go through all of these and go left to right, top to bottom. And you can have these 2 tokens here. One is going to be face up and one's going to be face down. And whoever wins will decide between, I guess, 1 of 3 options. I can either decide to, 1, put your token down here. And then the other opponent is going to decide to take the face up token or take the face down token. So we're going to slide this down even more. And then put this here that you can see. There we go. So I can decide here. So let me talk about a little bit about the icons here. And if at the end of the game, if you have 3 in a row, you get 3 points here. If it's diagonal, it's also 3 points. Each one that you have would be 3 points. So this will be how many points, people? How many points will be this? You want to type in? You want to guess? Well, I prepare this. That'll be 6 points. Good job. You can do it. All right. Moving on. So there are all these little things here that you can get. And why you want to get these tokens? Well, these tokens also add up to points. If you'll have 3 tokens like this, these 3 golden crowns. If you get these 3, you win the game immediately, like flat out immediately. It doesn't matter about any of this, how many points. If you get all 3 of these, you win the game. And then if you get this, like each one of these is just 2 points in addition to that. And there's quite a few of those. And then the rest are these 3 here. You have a ruler, like a ruler skateboard. You have a tape. And then you have a hot glue gun. And then depending on how many you get, those are points. So if you see here in the bottom of the board, it kind of reminds you here. I can focus, autofocus, autofocus. There we go. So yeah, so 1, 2, 5. So if you have 1 glue gun, it's 1 point. 2 will be 2 points total. If you have 3, it's 5 points total. So to set up the game, it's really simple. You're going to take all of these face down. here. Let's see here. We take these 3 first. You're going to take all of these tokens here, and you're going to shuffle these together. You take these 3 crowns, you keep them separate. These are the 3 crowns here. I'm not cheating, just to keep them face down. You take 4 out of here, and then you shuffle these around. Because you want to make sure that the 3 crowns are in the game. And then you'll just randomly place them onto the board. So each square gets one that's face down, and then each square gets one that's face up. Pretty simple. All right. And then now we are ready to begin. Very simple. So let's do a test of series. Do we have any takers? Who wants to play this game with me? We'll play it right now because I want to show this. So just say hi. Anyone who's around, type in like rock, papers, or scissors. And then we'll go ahead and get started. I am going to turn around here, or I'll hide. Maybe you'll just hide here. Give me 1 second. Oh, no. Can you type for me? Like rock, paper, scissors. Yes, yes, you can do it. Okay, good. Moving on. All right. We're back. You here? Okay, we're good. All right, so I'm going to turn around and then someone type in rock, paper, or scissors in the chat so I won't know. And I'm just going to count to 10 and see if you're ready because we're doing this in a weird live stream. And then I'm going to go. I pick mine already. And then I'm going to turn around and go. Rock. Okay, I did scissors. So maybe I'll put it there. Okay, so you win. So what do you want to do, Amanda? Do you want to place your token down, or do you want to take the known or unknown token? What do you want? What do you want to do? Put token down. She puts the token down. I am going to go with the unknown token, and the unknown token is tape. Okay, good. What does the known and unknown token do? Well, they do different things. So there's no difference between the known and unknown. It's like one you know and one you don't. The are 3 types of school materials. So if you get 1, 2, 3 of those tokens, you'll get 1 to 5 points. Some of them are just like plus 2 points altogether. All right, so we go on to the next one. I'm going to turn around and let's see. This is for me. I'll put this over here so everyone can see. And I am blue, and then all of you are orange. And I'm going to turn around here, and then I'm going to turn around, and then I'm going to choose mine, and then all of you go. So 5, 4, 3, 2. You type in rock, paper, scissors, and rock. Scissors. Yes, I win. Ha ha. So I am going to take this golden crown. And if I get all 3 of these, and I win the game immediately. So now you guys choose. Do you want the unknown token, or do you want to place your token down? Board Game Hubby, what do you want? I'm going to take a peek and see what this token is. Ooh, interesting. Interesting. Didn't hear the score. Amanda, you choose for us. I think Amanda's going to go for putting the token down. This is pretty much guaranteed to be 1 point. This is potential 3. So she's going to put the token down. Put it down. You missed out on tape. Okay, and then now we move on to the next one. And then I'm going to turn around again. And then you tell me when you're ready. Rock, paper, scissors. I'm going to count to 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go. Paper. No! All right, so you decide. Do you want the hot glue gun, or do you want to put the token down? No. Token, put it down. Okay, they put the token down. I'm going to go with the unknown. So, and the unknown is, oh, yay! So now I have 2 of these. So if I get the 3rd crown, I win immediately, regardless of all of this jizz jazz. So I just have to make sure I get that token. And now we play over this one. And we do it again. So I'm going to turn around. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Scissors. Oh, he. No. We have to choose face down out from here then, I guess. Yes, you may have to. You may have to. I'm going to turn around again so you can choose rock, paper, scissors. I'll try it again. I'll turn around. Ready? 1, 5, 4, 4, 4, 4, 3, 3, 3, 3, 2, 2, 2, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1. Scissors. Yes. All right. So I'm going to guess what the bottom one is down below. And it is, oh, plus 2 points. So I just have 2 points. So right now I only have 3 points. I have 1 and 2. That's 3 points. You guys have 3 points here. So I guess you're going to pick the token down, or do you want the ruler? What do you want? Jay's here. All of you are here. This is all me. Put it down. Put it down. There we go. Bye-bye, ruler. All right. Do the center square. And turn it around. 5, 5, 5, 5. 4, 4, 4, 4. 3, 3, 3, 3. 2, 2, 2, 2. 1, 1, 1. I'm also going to give you a little bit more time so I can drink some water here. Staying hydrated. And paper. Paper. No, we got to do it again. Okay, we're going to turn around. 5, 5, 5, 5. 4, 4, 4, 4. 3, 3, 3, 3. 2, 2, 2, 2. 1, 1, 1, 1. Rock. Yo! Okay, so I assume you're going to go with the bottom token. Are you going to go with the bottom token, Amanda, or are you going to place the token down? Yeah, unknown. The unknown is, oh, a glue gun. Well, I am going to put, oh no, this is the weird thing about this game. Like as simple as this is, I could go here and block you, or I could take this. And because I already have this tape, this makes it worth more points. So I'm going to go ahead and double down on that and get more points there. And so now we have this weird empty space here. Like that's just kind of bizarre in a tic-tac-toe game. So I'm going to turn around again, and we go again. Drink some water. 5, 5, 5, 5, 4, 4, 4, 4, 3, 3, 3, 2, 2, 2, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1. Drink some water. Scissors. No. No. All right, gang. So what do you want? Do you want the unknown? I guess you have to go unknown, right? Because I have these 2 crowns here, and you guys are in trouble. Y'all are in trouble. Good night, Amanda. Oh, good night, Amanda. Good job. Face down. You're going for the face down, and the face down is skateboard. Okay, it's the point. 1 point. I don't know if I want the glue gun. I guess I could. Maybe one of these is a glue gun. There's no point for me to put a token down, so I'm just going to take this because it's a point. Moving on to number 7. 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 3, 3, 3, 3, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reveal. Rock. I assume that Tammy wrote rock. She wins. All right, Tammy. What do you want to do here? Do you want to take the unknown? I think you're forced to take the unknown. I assume it's going to be, hi, Rob. Unknown. She's going for the unknown. The unknown is skateboard, which is okay. Now you have a total of 3 points here and 6 points. So we are actually tied for points here. So if you look here, I have, these are worth 0. So I have 2, another 2, that's 4, that's 5. I have 5 points here. You have 3 points. 4, 5, 6. You have 6. Or 5 to 6. I'm going to take this, and then now we're 6 to 6. So like there are these weird empty spaces. This is a very odd tic-tac-toe game. All right, moving on to number 8 and 5, 5, 5, 5, 4, 4, 4, 4, 3, 3, 3, 3, 2, 2, 2, 2. Pick rock, paper, scissors, rock, paper, scissors. I know what I'm going to choose. I'm going to choose rock. I'm going to choose rock. And rock. Scissors. Oh, I said I was going to choose rock. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to choose what's underneath. And it is, oh, it's a glue gun. Okay, so that means, what are you going to do? I guess you could put your token down. That doesn't really going to help. Or you just, no, you should take the ruler, because you have 2 rulers now. That's 2 points. You take this, that's an extra 5 points. So you'll probably take the token. Oh, that means, yeah, just take it. So that means we all know what this unknown is. So it all comes down to the final match here. All right, so we're just gonna go. You guys, you all pick paper, rock, scissors. I have a 1 in 3 chance of doing this. 5, 5, 5, 5, 4, 4, 4, 4, 3, 3, 3, 3, 2, 2, 2, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1. I'm gonna go with scissors. That's right. I'm choosing scissors. What are you gonna choose? I haven't showed you yet, but I'm gonna choose scissors. Or maybe I'm lying. Maybe I'm lying. Maybe I'm lying. And I am paper. Rock. Oh! Oh no. And it's, we are the champions. We are the champions. And that that is rock, paper, rubber, paper, scissors. Like, it's a very cute filler game. And like, and even though it's this very short, quick, like 10-minute game, you have like these fun high highs and low lows. Like, that was really fun. So if wow, that was great. That was great. And that's Rare Paper Scissors. This is Wonderful World Board Games. You can pre-order this on their Facebook page. Just go to the Facebook Wonderful World Board Games, and like all these publishers here, like Mo Ideas, Wonderful World Games, they all have pre-order pages. I think I'll put the pre-order pages and a link down below in the description of this video. And I think I'll do that for the part 1 video as well, just to help everybody out. Although I don't think the Japanese publishers have pre-orders. Maybe they do. And that is rubber, paper, scissors. And now I'm going to move this up. Once again, hello. Hi, how are you? My name's Jay. What are you doing here? Is it kind of tilted? I think it's kind of tilted. I haven't had my V8 today. Maybe now I can straighten up to hallelujah. All right, rock and roll. So we have done 3 publishers really quick. Hello, Brooke. Hello again. Hello. So we talked about Wonderful World Board Games. They have cute little, very approachable family games like rubber, paper, scissors here. They'll also have games like Animal Gathering, which is like this Tetriano's drafting cards, drafting Tetrianos, putting the shapes onto the cards and unlocking special powers. And it's very combo-tastic. You could have lots of combos in there. I think my wife discovered one game-ending combo. Like, the game ends when you have, I think, like 5 cards, and she had like 10 cards because she found some 1 in a million combo that's chained unbelievably. Wonderful Award Board Games has this great game, Give Me A Plus, which is about cheating, students cheating on a test. Really great. We talked about Play With Us Designs, where they're like the Oink of Taiwan. They have these great little games here. They have like 6 games that are all showing up. Like some of them are social deduction, some of them are party games. These are the 2 biggest ones. This is Vita Morris, which won the UKGE award for most strategic card game. This is a non-talking social deduction game where you deduce who's who by the actions that they're taking. Comes with metal pieces. This is a Soloing, the 2-player abstract game, which has this mild asymmetrical play, which is pretty fun. Really good quality components too. Really amazing components. And then we talked about Board Game Nations, who make like crazy kung fu games. Like the first half is resource collection. You're just gathering suits, you're grinding away, getting gear, making friends, learning magic spells. And then the second half, you actually have a tactical skirmish fight. Really great theming with this one. They also came out with Yinyang, where you're Taoist priests running around ancient China. They have a metal turtle shell with metal coins in this game. Great bling, great game, very puzzly. This is one of the heavier games mechanically and physically coming out of Asia. Board Game Nations also did 12 Rivers, which has this great little marble system here. Great board. They have a really crazy dystopian futuristic negotiation game called 社会师 or Corrupt Parliament. They basically made it to where it's like you make one deal per round, but you can lie about the contents of the deal through the envelope system. And that's the envelope system is what really sells me on the game. It's really, really clever. I've never seen that before. And then now we're going to talk about Mo Ideas. And let's talk about their games. Mo Ideas, the biggest thing for me, I think you could do this on the pre-order page. I'm not 100% sure. But they have an older game called Jiraku, and this is Jiraku Deluxe. I don't think it's officially called Jiraku Deluxe, but everyone calls it Jiraku Deluxe. I think because I started calling it Jiraku Deluxe. But here it is with the spot UV on the board, really shiny. This is trick taking and area control in one. Now, some of you older people who've been in the hobby for, not older, awesome people who've been in the hobby for a long time might remember the old TMG. May they rest in peace. Publisher. They had a small box version of this. And now the problem with that one is that the scoreboard was probably the worst scoreboard I've ever seen in the board game, period. There is a Jiraku Deluxe. Rob German didn't know. Yeah, this is it, right? So if you remember the small box game, this is the big box game. And it has spot UV all over the sides of it. It looks really gorgeous, right? So let me just open this up for you. You have a nice big rule book here where it's very clear, lots of examples. You have the small box. Well, Rob, I hate to tell you, you're going to trade it in for this one because this is amazing. Like, first of all, the board itself is just beautiful because look at this board. It's big. It's a big board. And then here's the board here. Look at that. And you get a score track, right? The score track goes around the edge. Very clear there. I love the nice little hoof marks from the horses, right? Because you're marching towards Kyoto. Here's the same part of the board, which you might have recognized: a 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, Kyoto. And there's the scoring on the bottom there, right? So this already is worth its weight in gold because the scoring track is just infinitely better than the small box scoring track. There's that. But if this doesn't sell you, perhaps the token does. Now, the small box had like these little cubes that you had, but this one upgrades the cubes into little samurai meeples. Look at that. That's just so cool. And they do this with all the colors, right? They do that with all the colors. So when you have all of these on the board, it looks like there's this giant epic battle happening on the board. Like I can't stress enough like how cool it looks. Like there might be like some 3D rendering here. Like yeah, here. So if you look closely here, like that's what the game looks like when you play the game. It looks so cool. like all the little wooden meeples there, like the scoring track there on the side. It just looks really really cool, and this deluxified version of it is just so nice. The card quality, I think, is the exact same card quality as the original, but the cards are nice and clear. There's no bleed on them, so you may want to sleeve them eventually. I didn't, because I just kind of like the texture of cards for this one. But yeah, the cards are nice and big and clear. There's no bleed, so you may want to consider sleeving them. But yeah, this game is just so nice. And this one also comes with an expansion, and I believe the small box one didn't come with that. It's not really an expansion, just like a variant of role play. So let's see here. Yes, they're all here. This one is multiple languages. So you see here, like there's the English round overview cards. This is what they look like. And if you flip it over, like they have the skirmish resolution here as well. And they have this also in Japanese, if you want to see what the Japanese looks like. This is what Japanese cards look like. And yeah, it's just really, really nice. And then here's the Japanese victory card. So when you win each trick, you get a few points. And then here's the English version of that same card. And then here are the factions that you can play. So this is, yeah, Mikawa, Ise. You have Oda. Oh yeah. Oh, this is they're right here. Oh, this is Tokugawa Ieyasu, who is probably the luckiest man in history. Like reading about his history and the things that he accomplished is pretty amazing. Like apparently he defended like a fort with like him and like 6 people against like an army of like hundreds. But I mean, who knows if that's 100% true, right? Here is Oda Nobunaga, who was probably one of the most ruthless people in feudal Japan. And it's really telling that he has an arquebus there over his shoulder, because he really embraced like Western weaponry. Uh, and then you have like, Takeda Shingen, who is known as the Tiger. Like this is great little artwork here. Like I love the little artwork, hand-drawn artwork of this game here. And but I said that there was an expansion to this game, and there is. It's not really an expansion; it's a variant play. So they don't have this with the small box version. Okay, these are the Japanese cards. Let me separate those. So it's just 6 cards, and you can probably find these cards online and just use them in your game at home. But they add like variant rules to play. And so this one's move Damo for only 1 AP. So your Damo can move faster. So with 1 AP, you can move your Damo token to an adjacent area on the map. Oh, I read that backwards. That was not easy. But they have like 6 of these cards here. And then you can play with 1 or 2 if you want to, just to change up like the feeling of each game. Like you don't have to, but it's kind of nice that it's there. But this is a game that I kept. I rated this in the top 20 board games to ever come from Taiwan, because this is just the quality of the production for this is just off the charts for me. I think it's really nice. There aren't many area control cheat taking games, but this one does a really good job and has an excellent presentation. This, I believe, you can pre-order. I'm not 100% sure on it, but don't. So take that with a grain of salt. I do want to mention, like, they also have Mini Express. This is by Matt Garrett. If you like cube rail games, this is one that you might be interested in. Matt Garrett wants to design a cube rail game without money, and I think he did a really good job with this system. The core system is pretty neat. The base game comes with 2 maps, the US and the UK. I actually like the expansion maps more, which haven't been fulfilled yet. I believe they'll come out. They're delayed from the pandemic, but I believe it'll come out soon, like maybe next year. But like I designed one of the maps. I developed another one of the maps. So I designed the Taiwan map, and then actually here's something fun for you all to see. Like I have here is the here we go. This is so mini. I'll put this here in the background. So Mini Express. I designed the Taiwan map expansion board, and here is the prototype of that map here. So you can see the prototype of the board here. So this is what game prototypes look like in their glory. Maybe doing War End right? Ooh, I want to. I would love to be. I am currently not going to Essen this year. I definitely plan to go 100% next year, but you never know. Maybe something will happen. This is the UK map for Mini Express that I helped develop, and like you could see like how much development went into this because like there are post-its everywhere along this map. Like it's just tons and tons of like mathing out little differences here or there to make sure it's evenly balanced and that it flows pretty well. Oh, there it is, Tammy. Yeah, there is a map expansion set available for pre-order on their page. The base game is okay. I think it's an okay system, but the expansions make this game amazing, I think, because you have Taiwan, you have UK. I designed the Taiwan map. I developed the UK map. UK map was designed by Tony Boydell, right, from Snowdonia. The Japan map was designed by Hisashi Hayashi. Like, wow, right? And there's also a Spanish map, and each map feels a little different, which is really cool. Here's another prototype of the Taiwan map that I did. So it's we had this and then we just cut off that section and then we put it back and then we took it off. So like the Taiwan map went through a lot of different phases there. But that's Mini Express, and I believe that you could pre-order this on their page. I don't like this at the higher player counts. I think it plays okay at like 3 or 4, but when you play this at 2, it's really good. And there aren't many cube rail games that play well at 2, and this one does really well. I really like it at 2. I also want to talk about. I don't have a copy here. I'm going to do it tomorrow in the live stream because I wanted some more time to play tomorrow's games to refresh my mind because some of those I haven't played as much, and I'm doing more impressions on those. But there's a game coming out from Mo Ideas. Let me get some water here to hydrate. And let me see if I can find a piece of paper here to help me out. Just leave these cards here. And here we go. So I won't have a copy today, but I'm going to show you the copy tomorrow. And I want to talk about it today because this is Mo Ideas booth. They're at 4D102. All of these games that you see in this live stream are from 2D102? 2D102. I'm sorry, 2D102. This game is really cool. I got a chance to play the prototype this weekend. This weekend was the Taiwan original board game expo. I think it's like the pre-Spiel Con. This is like their Gen Con. This is like their Essen for every year. This year, there were 70 Taiwanese publishers at this convention showing off their games. But on top of that, there were publishers from Hong Kong, Japan, Singapore, Thailand. So the Toby Taiwan Original Board Game Expo, Toby's just been growing every year. Energy Apex. So this is a game coming out from Mo Ideas, and I'll show this tomorrow in the live stream. But this game is called Energy Apex, and this game is really, really cool. I demoed it there. If you liked Veggie Stock, a drafting game, then you might like this. This was designed by Wang Yu. If you don't know who Wang Yu is, that's fine. He's a cool guy. But he designed a game in 2018 called Maholika, which was a tile placement game that had tons of combos. Really beautiful. It's somewhere here. I don't know where any of my games are anymore because I had to reorganize things after the culling. But then they came out with a Maholika roll and write or draw and write game. And now he has 4 games coming out this year and next year. He's like just chilling out, and then boom, out of nowhere, he came out with some really cool games. This one is definitely one of the coolest. This is called Energy Apex, and it's a card drafting game. And what happens is that there is a hexagon. Please pardon my drawing skills. I am not an excellent drawer. Here we go. So there's a hexagon at the center of the board, and each side of the hexagon has a whole bunch of cards. And all the cards are splayed out like this. Like they're all splayed out. They all have different values. So you might see something like this, like 5, 4, and 2. Right? They all have different values like this. And why they have these different numbers is that each number is a different resource. So this might be 5-star, this might be 4 lightning bolt, and this might be 4 circle. So it might look something like this, right? And the reason why is that different sides of these hexagons have different colors. So maybe like this one is, let's say this one's the star, this one's the circle, and this one's the lightning bolt. And then maybe this one's the star, circle, and lightning bolt. Maybe something like this, right? So one side is a star, lightning bolt, and circle. This is the circle, whatever. And the reason is that on your turn, you're going to be taking one of the cards around the apex. And remember, each side of the apex has 8 cards like splayed out. And you just take the card that's on top. And as you take each card, eventually one side of the octagon is going to empty out. And then whatever side is revealed as empty, that's what's going to score. So depending on which one is empty, so this card, like if I empty out the star first, I get 5 points for this card. But if the thunderbolt ends first, then I get 4 points. If the circle ends first, then I only get 2. So it's in my interest to get the star. But everything's open in this game. When you draft from one side, you move another card to that side because the next player can't draft from that side. And certain cards have certain abilities that you trigger that can like allow you to switch to around, or one can take one card from the middle. It's a little bit of quirkiness there that keeps it random and keeps it exciting. But what's really interesting is that despite all this, it's really open to see like how many points are there. And there's this table talk that happens in the game. All of this happens is like 20 minutes. It's like a nice, great little filler drafting game because all you're doing is drafting cards. Oh, I take this card, put it into my tableau. Maybe I do this and switch these 2 cards around. Maybe I put this card back. Maybe I draft the card from this side. Really, really simple and interesting. And there creates this table talk there of the games. Like, well, you should take this card because of that. I should take this card of this. The scoring is really good. Board Game Hubby, I have to go, but we'll be checking the parts of the video I missed out on later. Thanks for the content, Jay. Thanks for stopping by, Board Game Hubby. Good job taking care of your kid at 4:30 in the morning. I don't have a kiddo yet, but maybe there'll be one on the roadmap one day. And I might have to be there at 4:30 in the morning sometime in the future. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, I think Energy Apex is a really good filler game that's going to really punch above its weight. And I feel like this is more ideas kind of going back to its roots. I will say that the art and the UI of the game aren't like, they're not great. I think they could have been better. I think it looks nice. It looks good. But I kind of wanted it to be, I don't know, just something else other than what I got. But the gameplay is so good. It's really good. It's a really good drafting game and probably one of my favorite picks for all of Essen, like from Asia, I might say. Like just straight out of the gate, I'm going to just drop that there to say that. And even though I don't have a copy of the version to show you, but Energy Apex is definitely one to look for. And I think going to the Mo Ideas pre-order page, just look at it, take some pictures, look at it, and trying to see if it's something for you. Because all you're doing in this game is drafting cards, and it's really, really good. I really can't recommend it enough. Energy Apex is a solid drafting game. I have weird things like this just laying around my house because I don't know, design games, and like I like using these because I'll have sometimes I create my own player aids for games because sometimes I don't like the player aids that come in the game because like here's the rule book, let's just leave the rule book out on the table. I'm like, do I have to? So I'll make little notes here. and just keep it on the side of the board, and it's really nice. It's funny though, because sometimes I pick up a game that I haven't played in a while, and I'm not sure how to play, and then I'll see my little crib sheet, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's it. Thank you, past Jay. And I'm like, you're welcome, future Jay. Am I the only one who does that? Do y'all do that too? Let's see here. Board Game Hubby asked a while ago, it's like, will you yourself be at Essen, maybe demoing War and Right? Some of you may not know this. I'll be right back. Let me go and grab the game. Oh, my living room is a mess. So at Taiwan Board Game Design, at a different booth, will be this game. This is, you can see it here, War and Right, World War II. It looks like World War II, War and Right. I'm not sure. The Chinese is Xie Zhan. Xie Zhan is like a nice pun. Xie means right, and Zhan means war. But this Xie has the same sound as Xie, as in blood. So in Chinese, you'd say Xie Zhan is like a bloody war, like something that's, a bloody war. And this is Xie Zhan, as in to right. So there's a cute, clever little pun there. I came up with this name, War and Right. And this is, I don't know, like diplomacy in like 30 minutes is how I pitch it. And it's this cute little War and Right game here where you have a team play. It's one, it's like 1 versus X. 1 is the Axis and X are the allies. And you have these cute little, I don't know if it's really cute little tank and ship tokens around. And you write down your orders on your piece of paper, and then you move these tokens around. And the tokens themselves, I was really impressed with. I co-designed this game, and I'll share this with other people. This comes, I think they'll have the English rule book. I have the Chinese rule book in here, but I mean, I know how to play, I think. Yeah, but I designed this with Jerry and Wei Chung. There's me right there. And that's the cover of the game. I think 2+ did a really good job designing this, but I'll talk more about this. I believe Wednesday, tomorrow's stream. So that'll be exciting. So that's why Board Game Hubby asked, like, will I be there at Essen to talk about that game? I really wanted to, but it wasn't in the cards this year. But who knows? Maybe there'll be. Maybe God will see me at the corner of his eye, and I'll just happen to pop up in Germany and be there to meet and greet everyone. More ideas. Going back to more ideas, and they're both 2D102. Energy Apex is a really good game. I think it's one of the best games that come from Asia this year. It's not pretty, but the gameplay is so good. And for a nice, quick, like card game, I think it's something that's really nice and really punches above its weight. And I think that's what people want in their little card games. And that's one that I think is definitely worth getting. Energy Apex. More Ideas also came out with this one. I forget the exact name of it. It is I have to check my sheet here. The White Rose. Yes. Now, what you may not know is that so White Rose is designed by Wang Yu, and Wang Yu also did Energy Apex, same designer. Like I think Wang Yu has this coming out. He has Energy Apex coming out, and he has 2 more games coming out later this year. And we'll talk about those 2 games. So both those games coming out are also really good. Like he just came out with 4 bangers at once. It's just, you don't see that often. And this is a social deduction party game. And these are so big in Asia. I can't really stress that enough. Like if you go to a board game cafe, like in Hong Kong or in China, or even in Taiwan, I think that there's like a 9 out of 10 chance that someone's going to be playing a party game. That's just how it is and how it rolls here. And there's probably like a 70% chance that it's Avalon. It's just like that game came and it has stayed. Like it's not going anywhere. This is the White Rose, and the White Rose is a really interesting take on on it. And essentially, you're these people in the village, and you have to get out of the village. And so there are two teams. There is I guess, the villagers, and then there are the blades. And the board is, when I show this to you, it's going to be very reminiscent of like Coup. I don't believe what's the player count for this one? Yeah, 5 to 10. It's a party game, right? It's a game that you play with a lot of people. There are several boards here, so you can see that these are the boards for 6, 8, and 10, and on the other side here you see it's like 5, 7, and 9, and these are the boards for it. Now, for this, how it works is every player, and these are the cards here. Now, all of these abilities here are in Chinese, but they'll be finishing this up in English. So I should have the English version for one of the streams later on. So we'll talk about that. But the graphics on the back of the cards are nice. Like, it just looks really, really nice. So everyone's going to have these character cards. And let's see here. You have these believers. The dark knife, great sword, double knife, blades, ghosts. Yeah. Okay, so essentially you'll have 6 or 7 cards, or depending on the player count, right? So you're gonna have 3 cards in your hand. One card is going to be your character card. So you might see here, like, okay, you're the bad guy, you're the blade, you're trying to kill the villagers. Some of them are here, like you're just a regular villager here, like that's you, right? And you can see the symbol here. You might have a dead card in your hand, which is just a ghost, right? Nothing there. This little symbol here shows you that it's nothing. This one here, or like this is the bishop and the white rose. The white rose is kind of like the leader, your spiritual leader of the villagers, and we'll talk about more about her in a second. But in the game, when the game begins, like you'll have 3 cards in your hand, right? And then some in the open your eyes, close your eyes, things will happen. Some of the bad guys will draw extra cards, little powers like that. But eventually, everyone's going to play a card. You take the card and you shuffle them up, and then you see if it's all villagers. And if they're all villagers, then they all escape. And so if you look here on the 5-player game, you'll see here, like you need at least 3 people to escape, right? In addition to that, though, like the white rose, like the spiritual leader of the villagers, has to also be one of the cards that escapes. So she'll be here. You see the rose here. She has to be the card that escapes. And then 3 villagers have to escape. The twist is that once you play your character card, that's it. That's your character card. You don't get another character card. It's gone. It's out. You need to get that card, your character card, out. The twist is that like you can't kill ghosts. So if I played a ghost, that card doesn't appear here. The twist is that if a blade happens, if a bad guy plays their character card, then everyone is dead. So if there happens to be around with like 2 believers and like a ghost and a blade, so if like something like this happened, right? So, or maybe like this, a ghost. I'm sorry. So maybe this came out. Well, then the blade is gone. He's out of the game. He doesn't come back. And then you have 2 of the 3 cards needed, or 2 of the 4 cards needed are dead. So it's pretty interesting to see like how, and then you keep this card here so you know like how many of these character cards have been played. So it's this weird thing of like you only get one chance to get out of the village, just one. You only get one chance to kill people, just one. And so you have to time it just right to get out. And this is one of these games that when I first heard about it, I thought, okay, it's not that, okay, it's just a regular one. But when you play it, it's really good. These are ones that I don't know, this one resonates with me a little bit more than Avalon and all the others. And the fact that even though you're out of the game, like maybe you played your character card, you still have ghost cards in your hand. And you're still adding to the conversation. You're still doing something. And that's really interesting. And I like the fact that you only have one chance to make it happen, which is so cool. And no one knows who's who at all. No one does. So it's it makes it really, really interesting. But I like that short choice. And the gameplay is what, like 20, 30 minutes? Yeah, like 20, 40 minutes, depending on player count, obviously. But this is one of those social deduction games that I think is worth playing. And just try it. And I think that you'll see that it's worth exploring. On top of that layer, because if that layer isn't enough for you, like this, making sure one of the rounds that you're out and you're gone. Oh, that's so cool. I really like this idea of like you're waiting for that perfect window. You're trying to get enough information to see who's played their character card and who hasn't. And you just want to play the card and get out. You're waiting for that right window of attack. And it's that adds such a clever twist to the game. Really, really clever. But on top of that is you also get these magic book of magic, and you see that this listed 1 through 12, and each person gets one of these tokens right here, 1 through 12, and like you could trigger these tokens and these abilities, and that has stuff that does with the cards, that messes with the cards a little bit to add a little bit more dynamic to the gameplay, and make the gameplay more dynamic. It's a good thing I wasn't an English teacher for a decade. That would have been embarrassing. But it makes the game, I think, a lot more than the sum of its parts. And I think Juan, you did a really good job designing a social deduction game. I don't think this is the first game, this is the second social deduction game that I played of his. And I think this one is leaps and bounds better than the first one. And this is something I think if you're into social deduction, is something I think that you might be interested in. So I definitely think if you have any questions about that you can contact their pre-order page. And I'm going to add that link down below to the description of this after this live stream. And now we are at 12:16, 2 hours in, and I think we are done. Do any of you have any questions about any of the games here while you have me here? I wanted originally to do like a series of videos. If you have any questions, just tag them down below, and I'm just going to give some word vomit here. I wanted to do more like a long form edited version of these things, but I just did not have time because I'm just really, really busy with the move. Also, next week, I will go on vacation with my wife that we had planned for a very, very long time. It's like a third honeymoon. So, and to help celebrate her birthday, because she's been working really hard. She got her PhD this year. Very proud of her. After she got her PhD, she's just like, I have so much free time now. I don't know what to do. It was really funny to see that. But now we're going on a vacation there. So I had to do these. I wanted to do nice long form edited videos, but I thought live stream might be a little bit more fun. It's a little bit more raw, a little bit more authentic. And it gives all of you a chance to interact with me and ask questions on the fly. Because sometimes you might think of a question and just toss it out there and ask me, and then I could be here to respond back to you. Brooke, love that you're doing this. I am trying to make the most of Essen. Enjoy your vacation. Thank you so much, Brooke. I really appreciate it. Man, Essen always feels that even though you have enough time to run around, you will never see any booth. And if you had no responsibilities, you still won't make it to every booth because it's just so massive. Like Essen is a lot of fun. I put down my list. The last live stream of this week, I'll go ahead and say it. Like I'm going to talk about games that I haven't talked about before, and I'm also going to talk about some of my great picks. I think out of all the games that I've talked about, like, this whole week I'm already overwhelmed. I feel ya. Like I went to Tokyo. I went to the Taiwan Original Board Game Expo, and this weekend, and it was just 3 days. Very tiny expo especially compared to Essen, but I was swamped with meetings, talking to publishers, getting deals. I talked to one professor from Hong Kong who's trying to write a book about board gaming, and I talked to him, sat down, talked with him. Saw some friends that I haven't seen in like months because I've just been crazy busy. So I definitely feel you with the busyness here, as well as the calling and auctioning. I've been really busy myself. But Mo Ideas makes really good games. They're one of my favorite publishers from Taiwan. They make some of the heavier games here, like Jiraku and Mini Express, are both made my top 20 board games from Taiwan list. And I made that list before I played like games like the White Rose or like Energy Apex. Energy Apex is a great game. I'll have a prototype of that to show you later this week, and all of you can see it. But there's so many great. Even though I made a top 10, 20 list, like there's a lot of like little fun box games out there that, even though they're small, you still have these great high memorable moments like rubber paper scissors. The fact that this game came down to a final like rock paper scissors is hilarious. Board Flip says, thanks, Jay. Any new games from Dugu Wei this year? Do you have a favorite design of his? That's a great question. Dugu Wei makes a lot of great games. You can't really see it here. I don't want to get it and move it. Let's see here. Or maybe I can just move the camera. Haha. He did this game down there. You could see it right there. He did a game called Jiangnan. I really like Jiangnan. I can show you the map. I can do that. I don't want to take the box out because it's on the bottom, because it's one of those games you got to store horizontally and not vertically. But I would say my favorite design of Dugu Wei. Dugu Wei also designed Animals Gathering, which was from Wonderful World Board Games. And it's a fun, very approachable family game with a little bit of depth there, for enough for the gamer in all of us, I think, for the heavier gamers. I think that is a great approachable one. So if you're looking for Dugu Wei's like most approachable game, it's Animals Gathering, which will also be at this booth 2D102. But this is Jiangnan. Jiangnan might be my favorite design of his. Although I would probably say his best design is probably Yinyang. But, oh man, like this is Jiangnan. I believe you can get this from, pre-order this from My Ideas. This is the playmat. Oh man, this game is something else. So you see these sections here. If you see this little part area here for the card, that's a boat area, Doc. So you see, let's count them together. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, there are 6 of these areas here, and what's going to happen is, I can move the camera because I can do these things. And let's move it here maybe, so you can get a better view of it. So this is the city of Jiangnan, and you notice this is a worker placement bag building game, and I think that's why I like it. You're gonna have like these little workers, and you're gonna send these workers out to these different areas here. So maybe they go to this area, maybe they go to this area, this area, this area, this area, or this area. And then at the end of the round, after everyone sends out their workers, all the workers are going to move down here. And here are these little boats. So all the workers I send out are going to come here. And the workers will stay there. You have a lot of workers in this game, don't worry. And then at the next round, all these boats are going to shift down. And then you send more workers down, and then the workers will eventually slide down here. And then all these boats are going to shift again. And then the next round comes, and people are going to send workers out to wherever, and then all the workers are going to shift down, get on the boats, and shift again. And what happens is that each boat becomes like this mini area control game. And why is that important? Because eventually boats, and even at the very beginning of the game, there's one boat here, and it's immediately going to go here. Each boat has like these 2 tokens on it. And the 2 tokens are going to slide off here, and you're going to place these tokens here. And these tokens are going to determine what gets scored most. Like, is it going to be this section, this section, this section, this section, or this section, or this section? Like, what's going to be more valuable for the final scoring of the game? And it's just so interesting. And the fact that you can't put your workers anywhere you want because there's a bag building element to this game. Like, you have a bag and you draw it out, and then you'll have these tokens that come out, and then you can only go to those areas. And each time you go to those areas, you can go to it again. Now, the rest of this is kind of like a very simple, let's move this camera up so you can see me. Hi, how are you? Doing well? That's great. So the rest of this is just very simple, like resource gathering and resource conversion, and getting resources, fulfilling contracts, that sort of thing. Like getting some different combinations and things like that. This is also ancient China, and you could have like multiple wives, and you could have like different muses and that you could have and to inspire you to create art because you're an artist. You could write like famous books. You could focus on writing books. You could focus on writing plays, and like there are. And when you get a muse to join you, to one that's like, okay, we could date. They give you like these special abilities and things like that that unlock. And the whole process of this game is really epic. This is the heaviest game from Dugu Wei, and I think this is my favorite. I think Yinyang is a lot more approachable. It's also heavy, but Jiangnan, I think board flip is my favorite of his, and this is one that's coming with me to the States because it's just wow, and it looks so beautiful. Like the upgraded components are really really nice. They have 3D boats that you have on the board. Like it just the table presence alone is nice. The problem with the game is that, as you can see with this player mat, is that oh man, you got to have like a table the size of Alaska to play it. But that's not a problem for most people in North America. It's a problem for, I guess, Taiwanese, Japanese, maybe people who have smaller like apartment homes, like in Europe. But like if you go to a game store, you should be fine. And like just the table presence just looks so cool, and it's unlike anything I've ever seen before. Like bag building, worker placement, and area control, and how the area control slides and determines the scoring. And that sounds very complicated, but the iconography is pretty solid, and the gameplay is just pretty smooth, and it's not that difficult. But that's the answer to your question. Dugu Wei is a great designer from Taiwan, and I think he has a lot of great games that he's working on and coming out with. And this is one that I think is probably my favorite of his by far, just because there's just so much going on, so much to think about. Yeah, and I really really like it a lot. Harder to get to the table, but when I get it to the table, it's good times. Whew. Any other questions that you guys have out there? Because man, oh man, oh, I want to play this today. Like I look at this and I want to play this today because it just looks so good. And even though this is a playmat, this board is like cut into sections, so you could rearrange it. And you don't think that would change it, but it really changes the gameplay. It really, really does. Pierre asks, doesn't My Ideas have a new game called Cargo Empire? Do you know about it? And can you also tell us if they will have an English version of Death of Heaven? Those are two great questions. And let's talk about it with some water first. Mm-hmm. Now, if you don't know More Ideas, they were like one of the first board game publishers in Taiwan to really start focusing on gamery heavy games. So one of the games that built the house of More Ideas is this one, is Mini Rails. This is a really good abstracted down version of a Cube Rails game. And you can see the board here, right? No money involved in this game, but it's very abstracted down. But it's at 3 players, it's really good. I don't really recommend this at 4 or 5, but at 3 players, this game really, really sings. It's really good at 3. And they did that, and they did Mini Express, and they do train games. So Cargo Empire is another train game. I don't know much about it. I haven't had a chance to play it yet. But they've been bringing out to playtest at some conventions. I didn't bring it out for Toby, but it's still in development. I think they'll be launching it on Kickstarter sometime next year, I believe. But I think that if you go to the booth this year, they may have a demo copy that they could demo, because I definitely think that they want feedback from it, because they definitely want to play test with the European crowd and see if it's to their sensibilities. Because when they play test a lot naturally with gamers in Taiwan, but they also go to the UKGE, so they play test with people there. They did demo the game at UKGE, so if you know anyone in the UK, you might ask them to see if they demoed the game there. The other game that he's talking about here is uh, Death of Heaven. Now, Death of Heaven is, man, it is an epic game. It is Romance of the Three Kingdoms. And if you don't know what Romance of the Three Kingdoms is, there are four great books of Chinese literature, and there's a special saying for that. But but Sanguo Yanyi, Romance of the Three Kingdoms, is like one of the four great novels that you read. So, like, I don't know, I went to the American education system, and there are lots of books that we had to read, like Huckleberry Finn, Mark Twain, and like Tom Sawyer. Like there's a lot of books, but in like China, they read like these four books, and the the Romance of the Three Kingdoms is this big epic tale, and Death of Heaven is that. It's the Romance of the Three Kingdoms, and it is a big epic game. Try to imagine cosmic encounter and with a Romance of the Three Kingdoms theme, and that's pretty much what Death of Heaven is the way I can explain it. And it's heavier mechanically than Romance of the Three Kingdoms. I've played it a handful of times, I think like four times total, and it is this big epic experience. Like it's very asymmetrical. You are negotiating, begging people not to attack you. You're begging other people to attack some other people, and like you're trying to fight the best way you can in that game. I don't know if they ever plan to do an English version of the game. I think it's because they don't know if the Western market is ready for a Three Kingdoms board game. That game is designed by Jesse Lee, who is another like famous designer from Taiwan, who's designed lots of games. He did Ponzi Scheme, and Ponzi Scheme just recently had a new version of it, right? So like Jesse Lee does like these big heavy games. I gotta roll this up even tighter. I don't know if they're gonna ever do an English version of that game. It's pretty widely available in the Chinese version of that game, but we will see. I remember that Jiangnan and Death of Heaven came out roughly around the same time, and Mo Ideas yet, man, they got a lot of flack because I think on their social media posts or somewhere they said Taiwan is a country, and then all these people from China got really upset and started like doing that and complaining, and like even on BGG there are all these people who gave it a 1 because they're saying like Taiwan's not a country, and like wow, like geopolitics and board games, man, like we do not get around here. So yeah, this game. Maybe I should have done it the other way. I think I should have done it the other way. Yeah, but Pierre, I hope that answers your question. Let me know if that answered your question for you. I do think that Mo Ideas comes out with great games, and they're going to continue to come out with great games. I think when those expansions come out for Mini Express, it's going to be a nice, good hype train, because there are a lot of like Tony Boydell and Hasashi Ayashi are on that list of designers for that, and me, but I'm not nowhere near the fame of those two. I cannot roll these things for the life of me. But like, yeah. And that has been there. Any other questions getting out there? Yes, it did answer my questions. I'm glad I answered your questions, Pierre. These publishers all have, yes. Okay, there we go. And that was Jiangnan. Duguwei has a really interesting dice game coming up that's in development, and I played that a few times. That's going to be pretty interesting. I've seen that game. I played that prototype in various stages, and it looks really promising. And I hope it gets developed well. I think right now it's at this point of like, which way to develop it. Do you want to make the game more approachable, or do you want to make it more gamery? Because you have to go in either of those directions, or do you want to make it to where it could be both with a variant play? These are things that they're struggling with. I'm going to go ahead and put this away. No, I'll put that down later. All right. Okay. Well, if there are no more questions, I'm going to go ahead and end the live stream. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Once again, please check the description below. You can see the Patreon if you want to help support me, or you could join the Cardboard East Called Collection Auction currently on BGG. I'm moving from Taiwan to America, and I'm selling like 90% of the games you see back here. So these are all going up for auction. I think there are over 242 games on that list. And before I leave, I'll be adding even more games on there. I got like, I don't know, like 30, 40, 50 games for Essen previews this year, and I can't take all of them back. So some of the games that you see on these live stream videos, I'll be adding to the Called Collection auction. And I think I'm just going to bundle it in one thing and just be like, this is the Essen bundle. Bid on it because it's going to get crazy. Gary, thank you, Jay. You're welcome. Oh, Rob German asked, do you know if the game Kaitang is still in print anywhere? I do not know that game. Let me look it up on Board Game Geek here. Catain, Katain. The most longest. Oh, yes. I have heard of this game, but I have no idea of this game. I believe this is not. This is a Japanese game. And this publisher is still around, but I don't know if it'll be at Essen this year. You could reach out to them and see if they have it. That's something that I always tell people. And I think that they kind of forget is that I can't find this game. I can't find this game. It's like, well, did you talk to the publisher? Just drop them. It's like publishers love it when people talk to them. So don't. They love feedback. They love hearing from people who are interested in their games. You know, if you're trying to sell games, you want people to say, "Hey, can I buy a game from you?" That's what you really want. So don't hesitate to reach out to them. A general rule of thumb, if you're interested in board games from Asia, is that if you want a game from a Taiwanese publisher, reach out to them on Facebook. If you're interested in a game from Japan, reach out to them on Twitter. I don't have a Twitter account. Just make a dummy account and just reach out to them because they respond on Twitter. Like every single Japanese publisher is on Twitter. All of them. All of them. On Tokyo Game Market, they release like a magazine every year, like an actual paper magazine, and talking about all the previews. Like, Essen does this as well. So, and all of them, if you look at the publisher, they say the publisher's name and then the Twitter handle. Publisher's name, Twitter handle. They're all on Twitter. So if you want a game from Japan, that's who I would talk to. So I'll probably reach out to that, the Katain, the crap games, because that's the name of the publisher. Reach out to them directly and say like, hey, I'm interested in this game. Do you know where I can find a copy? Because you never know. Like they might be like, oh yeah, there should be some on Amazon. Oh, we sold some to this publisher. What country are you in? Okay, well the main distributor for that region is this publisher, and then you can reach out and talk to them. So just talk out to the publishers. They want to help you. So that's what I would recommend. Water. But I do want to mention again that like the auction is still going on, so feel free. The auction link is down below, so please feel free to check that out. I will be adding more games to that list, and in fact, I'll be adding games that you see in these live streams. Like I just can't take them with me. Like all these games, I like all these games. I am auctioning off Forbidden Stars for goodness sake, and like I really like that game, but I just can't bring it with me. It's a heavy game. Like Hansa Teutonica, I really like, but I could pick up the big box version of that in the States pretty easily, I hope. At least that's what people told me. I'll be giving out, stick around for the live streams later on this week. I'll be talking so many games. I'm not even halfway done. There are just so many games to do. All right, gang. Well, if there are no more questions, I'm going to go ahead and sign out. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget about joining the Called Collection auction on BGG and check out some of my games and help me with my move back to the States. I will still be doing Cardboard East. I'm not going to change my name to Cardboard West or Cardboard Wild West, even though it's very, very tempting to. I'll still be reviewing games from Asia. Just there'll be a dark period where I'll be making lots of short form content. Stick around for the rest of this week. Same time, every day this week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday for me. Maybe Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday for you.
I do not. Rob German asks, where moving to? I don't know yet. I don't know. But like every good Asian, I have family in California. Ideally, I want to move out there to be closer to family. But if I get a good job opportunity elsewhere, I can't pass that up, and I'm gonna go there because that's what needs to happen. I'm moving there for a lot of reasons, and which I won't have time to get into now because that would be a whole other live stream. But hopefully, I'll get situated by November and start making stuff for Game Market because there are some games coming out for Game Market that will be really, really cool, including like Wang Yu, which I talked to you about. Like he did the White Rose for Mo Ideas, and he did Energy Apex for Mo Ideas. He also has two games that'll be out at Tokyo Game Market. One of them is like one of the best hand shedding games that I played in a very long time. One of them is Mahorika Second Edition, and it looks gorgeous. So definitely check that out. Both of those games will be at Tokyo Game Market this year, and this December. And he has these two. So that's Wang Yu has 4 games coming out this year. Man, just like disappears for a few years, buys the Tesla, and just designs 4 games because he's Wang Yu. Good luck, says Rob. Thank you, Rob, so much. Once again, this has been my name's Jay. I play board games from Asia, and I share what I find with all of you. Stick around for the rest of the week for all these live streams where I'll be talking about more games from Asia. Coming up, we have like more games from Taiwan, games from Thailand, games from Korea. I have Coffee Rush from Korean board games, and you can see the insert of that game because the insert of that game is beautiful. Wow, I can't wait to talk to you about that one. But I'll see you there in that live stream. And the last live stream of this week, I'll be doing like my top 10, top 20 of the games that I've talked about all week long, including some other games from other publishers that will be there. Some even more. Like, did you know Nikoshi Dice is going to be at Essen? Wow. So stick around for the rest of the week, and I'll see you in the later live stream. Peace. Ending the stream.